All right. Welcome to the Multifamily Master Plan. It's good to see you all here this evening. Get everybody a second to get settled. See folks coming on in. I see you. What's going on? Alicia, Cameron, Chris, two Chris's, Cynthia, Daniel, David, Des, Dion, Erica, Galaxy S20, Jasmine, Jasmina, Jessica, Josh, Keith, Kiana, what's going on? Marvin Gray, not Marvin Gaye, Marvin Gray. Mitchell, Patricia, Randy, Reagan, Saba, Samantha, Sherry, Stacy, Juanita, Waukesha, Victoria. What's going on, y'all? I see you in the building. Good to see you this evening. So happy that you were here for the Multifamily Master Plan. We're going to get into it right out the gates. I'm going to share my screen with you, and we're going to get started. I have a lot to cover in a short amount of time. So let me share my screen. Can you all see my screen? Please confirm in chat that you can see my screen. Cool, we're good to go. Awesome. So if you can see my screen, the technology gods are working in our favor tonight. And so go ahead and answer the question, what market are you looking to buy multifamily real estate in? What market are you looking to buy multifamily real estate in? I see Charlotte, New Jersey, Georgia, California. Don't give me states, okay? Give me cities or counties, okay? Texas is a huge state. California is a huge state, okay? Derek's out in Baton Rouge. Derek, you might have been seeing, I've been doing some work out in Baton Rouge, the Buyback Baton Rouge Fund. We're buying up the Eddie Robinson Senior Historic District. OKC, New York City, San Antonio, Houston, Orlando, Memphis, Bloomfield, Sacramento, Baltimore, Miami, another Miami, Detroit, Philadelphia, Los Angeles, Chester, Pennsylvania, two Chester, Pennsylvanias in the building, San Antonio, Los Angeles, St. Louis, Missouri. So we got people from all over Essex, Columbus, Ohio, Jacksonville, Bozeman, I think, what is Bozeman, Texas, I think. Charleston, South Carolina, Stockton, California, Oakland, oh, not Oakland, California. I'm from Oakland. This is Oakland County, Michigan, okay? Fulton, good. We got people from all over tonight. That's absolutely great. And cool, let's get into it then. I got a worksheet that I put together for you that you can download just to guide you through tonight's webinar. I'm gonna drop a lot of gems tonight. I wanna make sure that you catch them all, okay? So I put together this worksheet for you. It's a fill in the blank just to keep you focused, paying attention. No multitasking on this one, y'all. I'm about to literally give you information that can change the financial trajectory of your family in your last name. So go to juliangordon.com/webinar worksheets. I'm gonna put it in chat. juliangordon.com/webinar-worksheet and download that worksheet. If you have a printer, quickly print it out. Okay, if you have a printer, quickly print it out. I'm also going to put a backup link in there. Okay, oops, not that link. Let me see, I got a backup link for you all. Because a lot of you, if you end up all going there at the same time, it's going to be like a busy signal, okay? And so that's a backup link as well. So it's either juliangordon.com/webinar-worksheet, or I put a backup link if there's too many of you hitting that domain at the same time, all right? So please let me know if you got it. Again, it's just a space for you to take notes, make sure that you catch all the gems that I dropped tonight. And if you don't have a printer or whatnot, then don't worry about it. Just get a piece of paper and pencil and get ready to take notes, all right? It's just keep you focused, but I don't want you to miss some of the key points that we're going to cover. So I see Helena got it, Kamira got it, Dylan got it, Trina got it. All right, cool. Good to go, good to go. All right, perfect. Well, I want to welcome you all to the Multifamily Master Plan, where I'm going to teach you how to finance, find, and finalize your first multifamily real estate deal and start living for free. My name is Julian Gordon, and I'm creator of the multifamily movement. But tonight I have a special edition for you, and that is the coronavirus edition. Obviously, the coronavirus has reshaped our global economy, has put some industries on hold, caused other industries to grow. And so I'm actually going to show you how coronavirus is having actually a positive impact on multifamily real estate. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but I'm going to prove it to you in just a second, and why now is actually the best time for you to buy multifamily real estate. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Julian Gordon. People know me as Mr. Multifamily. All right. And I just want to give you a little bit about my real estate background so that you know who's speaking to you tonight and what I've been able to accomplish in this space in the past 7 years. So I built a $4.1 million real estate portfolio with 10 multifamily homes with 30 apartments. In this industry, we also use units or doors. So if you hear somebody say they have 30 doors, that means that they have 30 apartments. Okay. That generates $35,000 per month in rent. Okay, that's my revenue, that's my top line. And I built that portfolio in just 6 years on the side. Real estate was not my core business. I was actually traveling across the country, speaking at colleges and corporations. I have 6 TED Talks. All right, so that was my initial business. And this is what I was doing on the side to create generational wealth, because I knew that I couldn't be pounding the pavement or trading time for money forever. So I started investing in multifamily real estate. And people started asking me questions. How are you doing this? And that is why we are here tonight, to show you exactly how to do it for yourself. My real estate portfolio returns 13.83% annually. The S&P 500, some of you have your money in stocks and 401ks. The S&P 500 is one of the major stock market indexes, and it has only increased over the past 20 years. It's only averaged a 4.23% increase. So a lot of people think that the stock market just grows by 10% every year. Just dump your money in the stock market and just watch it grow. That's not how it works. Let me actually show you the calculation that I did. And you have to know millionaire math, okay? You have to know math for millionaires in order to actually build wealth. And you should be able to run these kind of analyses to be able to understand whether you're making a good decision with your money or not. So this is the S&P 500 over the past 20 years. And you can see it's had some negative 23% years, negative 38% years, and it's had 26% and 29% growth years. But over the past 2 decades, the S&P 500 on average has only grown 4.23%. How many took some hits in the stock market over the past few months due to COVID and coronavirus and the shift in the global economy? How many took some hits? All right. So you have money in stocks and you have no control over what happens there. A lot of you don't even know who's actually managing your money and the decisions that they're making. And they're taking their fees off of your money that you worked hard for through your job, right? So we want to be in control of our wealth. And so that's what we're going to be focused on today. I'm going to show you an asset class that actually generates 3 times the amount of growth than the traditional stocks, okay? My real estate portfolio returns 13.83%. Again, the S&P 500 has only returned 4.23% on average over the past 2 decades. Okay? My properties have appreciated by 19.48% in value. And that's because I bought right. You're going to hear that terminology over and over and over again tonight. You have to buy right. Anybody can buy real estate, but you want to make sure that you buy right. Okay. And I'm going to explain what that is in just a minute. I've raised over $3 million for the Buyback Baton Rouge Fund, where I'm a managing partner, where we're developing over 180 multifamily units in the Eddie Robinson Senior Historic District in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'm founder of the Multifamily Movement, where I'm helping thousands of students achieve rent and mortgage freedom through multifamily real estate. And I want to be very clear. I'm not a licensed real estate agent, and you do not have to be one either to be a real estate investor. In fact, tonight I'm going to show you how real estate agents and real estate investors think differently about real estate in general. Okay. So with that, I'm going to be very transparent with you tonight. I'm going to give you the game. And so I'm going to start off by showing you my actual portfolio. I'm not just going to say that I have 10 multifamily homes. These are actually all of them right here. These are the homes that I control today. And my first property came in Brooklyn in May of 2013. And the moment that I acquired that property, okay, I achieved rent and mortgage freedom, meaning that I have not paid a housing expense in the past 7 years of my life. I'm going to repeat that. I have not paid a housing expense. Rent, mortgage, principal, interest, tax, insurance, capex, repair reserve, vacancy rate, none of that has come out of my pocket over the past 7 years of my life, the moment I acquired this first property. And that's what my focus and goal is for you tonight, is to help you get that first property. Now, I don't want you to just focus on the first property. I want you to look past the first property. And I want everybody here to be thinking portfolio. So I need you to touch your temple, and I need you to just erase for a second. Erase this idea of, oh, I just want to be a homeowner. I need you to erase that from your mind right now. And I want you to think about having a portfolio, not just one property. So in chat, please type portfolio. Please type portfolio. Okay, we are focused on building a portfolio, but of course, that portfolio always starts with one property. Okay, and for me, that property was in Brooklyn, New York in 2013. From there, I ended up investing in New Orleans and Oakland. I bought my property in New Orleans and in Oakland from a distance while living in Brooklyn. So for those of you who live in expensive markets and like, Julian, this isn't going to work where I'm from, etc., you can actually invest in other markets. I bought in New Orleans and Oakland while living in Brooklyn. In fact, this property here in Oakland that you see where I'm from, guess what? I've never set foot inside of this property. I control and own this property, but I have never set foot inside of it. So you can buy from a distance. You do not have to be restricted based on where you actually live. All right. So at that point, I realized that I was a real estate investor. And once your identity changes, then your behavior changes. So I believe that the two most powerful words in the English language are I am, right? And whatever you say after I am, because that's what God calls itself, I am that I am, that becomes your reality. And so once I took on the identity as not just somebody who's buying some homes, but I took on the identity of a real estate investor, you can see that my doing and having also changed. So in 2019, I acquired 7 properties with 25 apartments all in 1 year. Last year alone, I acquired 7 properties with 25 apartments. Okay. And so now my portfolio is 30 apartments, 13.83% cash on cash return, 19.5% appreciation, $35,000 per month in rent, and $4.1 million in value. Okay. And this is all in the past 7 years, as you can see the exact timeline. So I needed to address that and just make it clear that I'm doing this in real life, because there's a lot of people who are on social media or even in your life who don't understand wealth, and they will tell you that it's not possible. This person posted on my Instagram, said, bet it was not in the Bay Area. I can buy 10 properties in some cheap market for the price of one small single family home in Palo Alto, shaking my head. And of course, this property here is actually in Oakland, California. So I want you to know that the greatest sin in the world is cynicism. The greatest sin in the world is cynicism. And cynicism is not you doubting other people, it's actually unbelief in yourself. It is not you doubting other people, it is unbelief in yourself that you can actually do it. And so what we do is we project that on other people as sarcasm, and that's what happened in this particular situation. So I'm asking you to come here tonight with an open mind and know that I would not be teaching this if I didn't know that it was possible for others. Okay. So I've been able to teach this to other people. And here are some of my students. This is the Roll family. They have a fourplex in Los Angeles, California, near University of Southern California. This is the Campbell family. They have a duplex in Charlotte, North Carolina, where they've achieved rent and mortgage freedom. Then there's Jackie Hall Cooper. She lives in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. She acquired a 3-family and a single family from a distressed seller that she got at a discounted price. Then this is Amina. She lives in Brooklyn, New York. She has a 3-family there. Realized it would be hard to buy another property there, so I helped her find a fourplex here in New Orleans. Dante Green is actually from New Orleans. I helped him find a duplex here. He's actually moved to the Bay Area now. And then Spencer, he lives in Texas, but bought a duplex in his hometown of Cleveland, Ohio. So I've been able to teach this to other people, not just myself. For me, y'all, my purpose is to free 300 people, right, to achieve freedom through entrepreneurship and multifamily real estate. My purpose is to free 300 people to achieve freedom through entrepreneurship and multifamily real estate. You know, my inspiration is Harriet Tubman. And Harriet Tubman was the #1 conductor on the Underground Railroad. And the Underground Railroad, she freed 300 people by making 19 trips below the Mason-Dixon line over the course of about a decade, okay? And so for me, I believe that multifamily real estate is actually what I call the above ground railroad. It is the above ground railroad. It is an asset that is above ground right in front of our eyes, and we just haven't been able to see it as a pathway to freedom. But I'm a living example that you can get free through multifamily real estate. And I achieved full freedom when I acquired about 10 apartments. Once I got to 10 apartments, I achieved full freedom, and I'm going to be free for the rest of my life. You were looking at a 100% free Black man. You were looking at a 100% free Black man. I don't have to work for anybody. I don't work on any corporate plantation. I do what I do want to do with my own time. I have full freedom. I have mental freedom, okay? I have time freedom, and I have financial freedom, right? So this is what I ultimately want for you. And if you focus on getting this first property in the right way, then I know that this is possible for you if you follow the blueprint that I give to you tonight. Okay, so tonight is for you. I'm going to show you tonight the multifamily math, how to quickly and quantitatively evaluate a real estate deal in less than 10 minutes so that you can make an offer before anyone else. Okay, I'm going to show you the multifamily map, how to find great emerging markets, neighborhoods, and properties near you or from a distance that will provide great cash flow and potential appreciation, and the multifamily mindset, how to think like a real estate investor when it comes to wealth, money, real estate, and debt. Okay, so my big promise is to give you a proven path to achieve rent and mortgage freedom. Now, real quick, back to the Harriet Tubman thing. When you think about the Underground Railroad, where did Harriet Tubman take folks in the middle of the night, y'all? Where did Harriet Tubman take folks in the middle of the night? Anybody know? She took them to churches, swamps, safe houses. You hear that? Safe houses. Did you realize that real estate has been part of your journey to freedom way back since Harriet Tubman days? The safest house you can buy right now is multifamily real estate. It hasn't changed, y'all. In the same way that institutional racism continues to adapt over and over and over with the times, this way to freedom has also adapted. Okay, but it's not a safe house. We're not going to shack up in somebody's cellar. We're actually going to be the buyer, okay, and we are going to acquire multifamily real estate. All right. So, what do I mean by rent and mortgage freedom? Rent and mortgage freedom is a result of buying multifamily real estate, which has cash flow that eliminates your housing expense forever. Rent and mortgage freedom is a result of buying multifamily real estate, which has cash flow that eliminates your housing expense forever. Okay. So for most Americans, their housing expense takes up about 35% of what they bring into their household. Okay. Whether that's rent or mortgage. And imagine with one single decision to buy multifamily real estate, that 35% was gone, that you never had a housing expense for the rest of your life. In chat, please let me know what would change for you if you didn't have a housing expense for the rest of your life, whether it was rent or mortgage. Please let me know in chat. What would change for you if you never had a housing expense for the rest of your life? It says everything, everything, and no more stress, time for my child, pay off student debt, financial stability, my blood pressure, no stress, stress level, my life, travel. None of y'all want to spend time with your families? Nobody's spending more time with my family. Y'all realize in this quarantine, you don't like the people you live with. I thought I loved you until I had to shack up with you for 6 months. I want to travel. I'm trying to travel solo. Some of y'all trying to get out. Some of y'all trying to get out. I'm just playing. I know y'all love your family. All right. So I'm corny, y'all. And so I'm going to say some corny jokes tonight. But the thing about corny is that whether the joke is good or bad, you all still laugh. And that's all that matters to me. Okay. Now we having fun on this journey to freedom. All right. Cool. So you see that this is not just about having more money. In fact, we don't want paper money because at the end of the day, that money is no longer backed by gold. It's not backed by a real asset. It's all based on what we agree to. We actually want to take fake money, which is monopoly money, which we're all playing with right now, and we want to acquire real assets with that fake money. All right. So we don't want money. We want what we know money can get us, right? Like the freedom, the ability to travel, to pay off other debts, to spend time with family, to de-stress, to leave the corporate plantation, to walk in your purpose, to pursue your entrepreneurial ideas, right? This is what we ultimately want. And I'm trying to show you a pathway to live in your purpose every single day, all right? So before we go forward, we need to address the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is obviously COVID or the coronavirus. Now, Black folk, we nickname everything. All of a sudden, Corona has become Rona. Okay. So what about that Rona though? Okay. How is the coronavirus actually affecting multifamily real estate or real estate industry in general? All right. So let's look at that. The first way that Rona is actually affecting the industry is that housing prices will drop. Okay. It's just a pattern that recurs over and over and over again. But housing prices don't react as quickly as stocks do. So you saw stocks drop right away. Okay, housing doesn't work like that, especially when the banks gave forbearance to a lot of homeowners or home buyers. You'll see why I say that in a second. Home buyers, they gave them forbearance, which for a lot of home buyers, that forbearance is expiring now. Okay, and so when that forbearance expires, and one or both of the people that run that household still don't have jobs, then what are they going to have to do? They're either going to get foreclosed on or they're going to have to do a fire sale on that home. Okay. And so if you look at 2009, you can see this dip in the last recession. These gray bars represent recessions. And you can see there was a dip in the price of real estate. So the average single family home at that time was $208,000. Guess what that same home is worth today? That same home is worth $324,000 today. So if you would have bought when everyone else was scared, guess what? You would be up 116 racks in terms of your net worth today. If you would have bought while everyone else was scared, you would literally be up 116 racks in terms of your net worth. Okay. So that's the first positive impact of coronavirus. All right. The next thing is that rents actually go up in the midst of a recession. I'll prove it to you. Here, this blue line represents rents over the past, 25 years. And these gray bars are the recessions again. And what do you notice happens to rents in the midst of a recession? Rents go up. Now that sounds counterintuitive, Julian. Why would rents go up? People are unemployed. Stock market tickers are red. Why would rent go up? Well, let me explain to you. In every market, there are permanent renters who may never ever become homeowners. Okay. Then there are renters who are looking to buy soon, and they're single family buyers. Now, those single family buyers pursuing the American dream and trying to keep up with the Joneses, many of them bought 4-bedroom or 5-bedroom homes for a 3-piece or 4-piece family. Okay. They only needed 3 bedrooms, but they bought all this extra house because grandma's going to come over for Thanksgiving or Christmas. Grandma's literally there for 7 days out of the entire year, and they bought all this extra house that they didn't need. So now one of them loses their job and they can no longer afford that mortgage. What do? They either have to sell at a discount or they get foreclosed on. And when they get foreclosed on or have to sell, what do those people who used to own become? They become renters. Okay. And now, when the number of people who need to rent goes up, but the number of rental units has not increased, when demand goes up, but supply has not changed, what happens to price, y'all? When demand goes up, but supply has not changed, what happens to price, y'all? Price goes up. It's just basic economics, y'all. This is why rents go up. And this is why having multifamily real estate in your portfolio is actually put you in a recession-proof environment economically. It makes you recession proof. Okay. I've had no negative impact as a result of coronavirus in my portfolio. None. Some of you are wondering, well, Julian, didn't some of your tenants, weren't they not able to pay rent? Look at this, y'all. 1/3 of my entire portfolio is Section 8. Section 8 is a godsend. It is one of the best programs out there for owners. Those Section 8 tenants, guess what percentage of my entire mortgages, of all my mortgages, how much do those Section 8 tenants actually cover? The rents from those Section 8 tenants cover what percentage of my mortgage? What's your guess? Sharika's right on the spot. 85% of my mortgages are covered by 10 tenants who are on Section 8. And Section 8 pays online and on time, no matter whether the economy is up or down. So I don't just want you to diversify all your assets. I also want you to diversify your tenant pool. Section 8 is the best type of tenant you can have in the midst of coronavirus. Okay. So even if for some wild reason, none of my market rate tenants ever paid, literally 85% of my mortgage will still be covered. Okay. So this is how we secure our portfolio, right? To make it recession proof, right? Now, the next thing that coronavirus has caused is it has caused interest rates to drop to an all-time low. That makes money extremely cheap, y'all. Literally, people getting 2.25% interest rates on 30-year mortgages. That's basically free money. And I know some of you, where you are in your wealth consciousness, don't understand what I mean by cheap money. What do you mean money's cheap? How can money be cheap? Products and services, they can be cheap, but how is money cheap? When I can borrow money at 2.25% and I know how to make it grow at 15%, how much money should I borrow, y'all? If I can borrow money at 2.25% and I can make it grow at 15%, how much money should I borrow? Some of y'all get it. You would borrow as much money as you possibly could. This is what we mean by money is cheap. All right. So interest rates are at an all-time low. So now I can lock in a $400,000 mortgage at 2.5%, 3% for 30 years. Come on, I'm winning, y'all. Give me as much money as you will allow me to borrow, Mr. and Mrs. Bank. Okay. So this is why I'm encouraging you to buy multifamily real estate right now in what we are calling a global pandemic, or some people are naming it a recession. Okay. Some people will experience the negative side of the recession, and some people will in the midst of a recession. There are so many Fortune 500 companies that were created in the midst of recession. Okay, so now we're just focused not on a Fortune 500 company, we're focused on you growing your family in the midst of a recession. All right, so why this, why now? If you wait to get started, rent, for those of you who are paying rent, rent's going to continue to rise, as I just showed you. And that's going to make it harder for you to save because your salary isn't rising in the midst of coronavirus. Okay. And as prices of real estate start to go back up, then that will make it harder for you to buy. So now you're not saving that much, and prices of real estate start to take off again, which makes it harder for you to make a down payment. And that puts you in a position where you can't buy. And if you don't take advantage of this window of opportunity that's going to occur between now and the end of the year, you may put yourself in a position where you never, ever own multifamily real estate. Okay. This is why this is so urgent right here and right now. We all know that there's a gap between the rich and the poor. And right now, you can get across that gap if you do some things right. You go to the right school, you get the right kind of job. Your parents might leave you life insurance or something like that, and they bought some real estate. Okay. But that gap is only getting wider and wider and wider. And at some point, that gap will be so wide that if you were born on the other side, it's going to be almost impossible for you to get to the wealthy side unless you hit the lotto or your parents leave you a life insurance policy that leaves you with a lump sum of money. Okay. So we need to get across while we can, while the gap is still crossable. All right. Everybody with me on that? Everybody with me on that? There's no delaying. We cannot procrastinate. Okay. We cannot procrastinate on this. All right. So multifamily real estate is the most proven business model of all time. In the feudal system, which was in 900 AD in Europe, in the feudal system, kings gave land to lords in exchange for loyalty. Kings gave land to lords in exchange for loyalty. So where do you think the word landlord comes from, y'all? It comes from the feudal system. This business model that I'm teaching you is 1,100 years old. I cannot guarantee that Amazon will be around 1,100 years from now. I can't guarantee that Apple will be around 1,100 years from now. But as long as there are human beings on the face of this earth who need a place to live, guess what? Multifamily real estate will be around 1,100 years from now, and it will be more valuable than ever. Okay? So this is the number one subscription model of all time. Better than Amazon Prime, better than Netflix. This is the number one subscription model that people have been paying into for centuries. Okay? Now, there's some of you who have this limiting belief that you can't afford real estate. And so I just want to address that before we get into the actual core content. You do not need lots of money to get started in real estate. I'm going to explain it to you. This is my actual W-2 from 2012. This is my actual W-2 from 2012. Literally, if I move this black box, you would see my social security number. Okay? So you can see in 2012, I only made about $36,000. So when did I buy my multifamily in Brooklyn, y'all? What year did I buy my multifamily in Brooklyn, y'all? In 2013. This was the W-2 that they used to qualify me for that mortgage. Facts only. So I got started in multifamily real estate when I wasn't making a lot of money. I got started in New York City, the most expensive market in the entire world. I got started while I was an entrepreneur, and I got started within 3 years of an economic recession. Okay? Now, will $36,000 cut it today, 7 years later in New York? No. You're probably going to need at least 50 in New York, right? But I'm just letting you know that multifamily real estate is the most leverageable asset that the average American can access. Now, I'm not calling you average. I want you to all be extraordinary, but I'm just letting you know that in this asset class, this is the most leverageable asset that you can acquire as an American, okay? Most other countries aren't set up in this way. Now, when we're talking about multifamily real estate, what are we talking about? I'm not talking about those 60-unit buildings that you drive by when you're on the freeway, okay? I'm talking about 2-family, 3-family, and 4-family homes. That's 2-family, 3-family, and 4-family homes, like also called duplexes, triplexes, and fourplexes, okay? There are only 2.6 million of them in the United States. I currently control 10 of them, okay? They only make up 18% of the rental market, so they're the smallest portion of the rental market. So we're looking for a very specific and unique asset, okay? Now here's the power of 2-family, 3-family, and 4-family homes. The same financing process that you would go through, the same lender that you would go through to buy a single-family home, is the same exact documents and lender that you would go through to buy a 2-family, 3-family, and 4-family home. Exact same documents. nothing else. Okay. So this is the power. Once you get to 5 units or more, that becomes a commercial property, and that is a different lending process and a different type of financing. Okay. So the same documents and the same lender that you would go to for a single family home, you can go to for a 2-family, 3-family, or 4-family home. Right. On top of that, if you achieve rent and mortgage freedom, you can typically do that with a 3 to 4 unit property. You can achieve that with a 3 to 4 unit property. So if you buy right first time out the gate, using what I'm teaching you tonight, you can achieve rent and mortgage freedom and never have a housing expense for the rest of your life. Okay. So this is what we're talking about when we're talking about multifamily real estate in this context. So this is for you if you're a renter or single family home buyer who wants to be receiving rent monthly instead of paying rent or mortgage to someone else. This is for you if you are committed to creating generational wealth for yourself and your family by having your money work for you instead of you working for it. And this is for you if you're willing to make the short-term sacrifices necessary to guarantee long-term financial gains and freedom. Type me in chat if that is you. Type me in chat if that is you. All right, cool. So you are all in the right place. Now, I have seen some questions come up already in chat. Let me let you know, I'm going to be giving you the game over the next about hour that we have together, okay? And I'm sure that the game that I give you is going to answer a lot of your questions. So would you mind if I just got through the presentation and then I did a Q&A at the end as opposed to try to answer your questions as we go along? Because if I try to answer your questions as we go along, this is going to be a very long presentation, right? So can I do a Q&A at the end instead of trying to jump away from what I'm teaching? Because honestly, the presentation is going to answer a lot of your questions. All right, that's cool. I appreciate that. All right, cool. And can I also ask for your permission, if I give you some great content over the remaining time that we have together, can I take about 10 minutes at the end to share an opportunity with you to consider for those of you who are serious, who want to accelerate your process, who want to make sure you can do this without any mistakes? Again, I only do it if I get the green light from you. And I'm asking for permission in advance, and I'll let you know when I share that. I'm gonna give you a lot of game on this webinar, actionable things that you can go move on your own. But if you want to accelerate your process, if you're really serious, you want to make this happen, you want to be guided to rent and mortgage freedom, you want me to be your conductor on the above ground railroad, then I want to share an opportunity with you. All right, cool. Now, for everybody who stays to the end, I got a free gift for you. I think I let you know in advance that I was going to give you a free gift. It is a new tool that I created called the Beginner's Guide to Multifamily Real Estate Investing. Frequently asked questions, down payment assistance programs, and key vocabulary you need to know. So I'm going to send this to everybody who stays to the end. This is my way of saying thank you for spending your time with me, okay? Your time is the most valuable thing that you have. You can have millions and millions of dollars, but if you don't have another hour left on earth, then what is it worth? Okay. So I'm grateful for your time, and I'm sure that this time is going to be extremely valuable. I intend for it to change the financial trajectory of your family. All right. So this is just my way of saying thank you for those who stay to the end and open their mind to hear this information. All right. So you'll get that via email for those of you who stay to the end. Okay. So again, the webinar worksheet is right here at juliangordon.com/webinar worksheet. We had a couple hundred more people come in since we started. So I just want to put that out there again. Again, that is www.juliangordon.com/webinar worksheet. Okay, I'm putting that in chat. And then I have another backup link as well. All right. Cool. Adrian said, I printed it. Good. All right. So how many of y'all been on some boring webinars before? How many of y'all been on some boring webinars? Somebody said lots. Okay. So I'm going to change this up. You probably never heard a poem on a webinar before. But I understand multifamily real estate in so much depth, and I care about you learning this information, understanding the power of ownership so much that I've put in all this vocabulary into a poem to help you learn. A lot of people are homeschooling right now, and how do kids learn, right? They learn through song and rhyme. So as I'm trying to move you from poverty consciousness to wealth consciousness, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make sure that you hear me, okay? So I'm gonna drop the multifamily poem on you. Why don't we hack houses like frat houses where everyone living good for just a few thousand? Some will say it's lousy while they slaving proudly, spending 1/3 of their revenue to pay for housing. Living on your own, but you don't own ish. Can't even get a loan. Student debt is up. Thinking a high wage is the way to get rich. Not if your living expenses rise directly with it. Trying to keep up with the Joneses, deep in debt till you croak. I'm gonna live just like the Jeffersons, pretend that I'm broke. Then I'll buy a multifamily, let the rents pay the note. Perhaps you could be my tenant. Yo, that would be dope. I keep my cost of living low along with my blood pressure. Because if you always stressing, it's hard to enjoy pleasure. The man with the most is not the one who wins the race. It's the man with his soul who could look at his own face. 40 acres and a mule is what they taught us in school. I'd rather have 40 apartments in a big money pool. Leverage credit to capital and capital to cash flow. Cash is not king because the interest too low. Some call me a do-gooder. I got good deeds in my name. As a lord of my land, I'll never be a slave. You can dabble in stocks, lose your shirt and your socks, but the demand for housing will never ever stop. Assets, assets, assets. Passive, passive, passive. These are the two keys to amass wealth quick. But quick is really relative. It's a long-term game. Who you hustling for? Your first or your last name? Bars. Bars. Financial bars. Hey, yeah, that's how we get it. All right. So every line in this poem has wealth consciousness baked into it. And right now, where you are, you probably don't understand every single line. For instance, cash is not king. You've been taught that cash is king. Cash, if you really understand cash, you realize cash is the lowest yielding asset in the entire world, y'all. Cash is the lowest yielding asset in the entire world at 0.03% in your savings account. You cannot save your way to wealth. At 0.03% in your savings account, if you use a rule of 72, 72 divided by 0.03 means that it will take you 2,400 years to double your money in a bank account. 2,400 years. I'm trying to show you an asset class that at least grows at 12% per year. 72 divided by 12 means that your money would be doubling at least every 6 years. And that's just the cash on cash return. We have not accounted for appreciation, the tax savings, or your principal pay down. Okay? So we have to up level our money. You realize that your role as a steward of money is to resurrect dead presidents. Everybody talking about how many dead presidents they got. I don't want dead presidents. I want to resurrect those dead presidents and put them to work. Okay? George Washington was a slave owner, right? You think I'm just going to let George Washington sit lazily in a savings account doing nothing when my ancestors were working hard for George Washington? No, I'm going to put George Washington to work in every single president that is on a dollar bill. Okay, so this is how you have to understand money. And so I'm trying to show you an asset that you can put your money into that will make money start working for you so that you can stop working for it. All right. So again, I'm teaching you wealth consciousness through multifamily real estate. Okay. Teaching you wealth consciousness through multifamily real estate. So let's get into it. Myth number one, I can't afford it. So I've already addressed this a little bit, but I just want to talk to you a little bit about how your mind works, because I want you to know that I own my mental real estate before I own any actual physical real estate. I own my mental real estate, my mind, what is up here, the soil of my mind, before I own any physical real estate, right? And so when you use the word I can't, what you're literally doing is you're telling your subconscious mind to turn off. You're just flipping a switch. Now, your conscious mind processes 40 bits of information per second. Your subconscious mind processes 40 million bits of information per second. So you shouldn't say, I can't. What do you think keeps you breathing at night when your conscious mind is asleep? That is your subconscious mind. What do you think keeps your heart beating at night when your conscious mind is asleep? That is your subconscious mind. Okay. What tells you it's time to go to the bathroom when you're in the middle of a deep sleep? That is your subconscious mind. It works for you 24/7. Okay. But when the conscious mind, which has executive power, uses the word I can't, then it turns off the subconscious mind, and now you aren't using your full mental capacity. So instead, we need to ask a question, which is, how can I afford this? How can I afford it? Okay. When you pose a question to the subconscious mind, it will constantly seek the answer. This is why when you wake up at 6 a.m. and you have this brilliant idea, your subconscious mind was at work for you in the middle of the night. You pose a question to it and it seeks the answer tirelessly. Seek and ye shall find. Isn't that what it says? Knock and the door will be open to you. Okay. So you have not because you ask not. So we have to ask a question. We do not want to cut off the possibility by using the language of I can. All right. So the first issue is the monthly payment. A lot of people think, oh, I can't pay the monthly payment. That's going to be too high. Well, let's just look at the reality. The average rent on a 2-bedroom home in the United States is $1,225. If you were to get the average home in the United States, single family home, of course, that's not what this webinar is about. When you look at the principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, the price of that would be $1,199 per month. So it's literally cheaper to own a single family home than it is to rent. It is literally cheaper to own a single family home than it is to rent, right? Now, this person emailed me this and said, hey, Julian, really love your seminar. Really wish I could join, but being a single working mom right now is what's preventing me from pursuing my dream. At this time, I pay $1,200 a month for 9 years, which is insane for rent to a slumlord who never fixes anything. And if he does, it is used. Now, what we all tend to do, and this is not a target at her, what we all tend to do is we take whatever we feel is our area of weakness, wherever we feel vulnerable, and we use that as our crutch or our excuse for not moving forward. In chat, let me know, are there single moms who own multifamily real estate? Yes or no? Are there single moms who own multifamily real estate? Yes or no? Even if there is just one, then this excuse is null and void. Now, we all have our own excuses. This is not about her. This is about you. We have our excuse. Oh, I didn't graduate from high school. Oh, I was bad at math. I didn't finish college. Oh, I got laid off during COVID, right? Oh, I'm a foster kid. I come from a single parent home. My high school was bad. I got ADHD. We use whatever we feel is our point of weakness and most vulnerability, and we start using that as our crutch or excuse to play victim. How long does a lease last, y'all? A lease lasts for 1 year. She's been here for 9 years. She could have got on apartments.com and found another place at any given time. Okay. So when we look at this, she's been dealing with a slumlord, and $1,200 a month for 9 years means that she's been giving a slumlord who does not care about her, her family, or our people $129,000. $129,000. And that does not include interest. This is the opportunity cost of paying rent. This is the opportunity cost of paying rent. Now, imagine that, in fact, in chat, let me know real quick. How much are you paying rent or mortgage? Type 1,000 rent or 1,000 mortgage. Whatever your rent or mortgage is, type it in the chat. 1,200, 2,500 rent, 1,500 rent, 1,800 mortgage, 1,375. Wow, it's moving fast. 1,200, 1,400, 965, 1,850 rent, 2,200 mortgage, 1,330 rent, 1,600 rent, 1,168, 1,500 mortgage, 2,500 mortgage, 2,300 mortgage, 2,000 mortgage, 3,200 rent. Wow, wow, wow. Stop. All right, let me just go look at how many people are here right now. Okay, let's just take that the average, I'm gonna run the numbers real quick. Let's just take that the average here was about I'm seeing about 1,500 on average. And I'm just gonna multiply it, 1,500 times the number of people that are here times 12 months. Y'all know how much we are paying in rent annually? Together, everybody who's here, we are collectively paying $9 million in rent per year. Just us right here. Rent or mortgage. Just those of us who are here tonight on this webinar, rent or mortgage expense, $9 million. You think we're going to be able to close the wealth gap like that? Just giving away $9 million a year? That's just us. Okay? So we have to change the game. So what would happen? Let's just say if it was $1,000. What would happen if instead of you paying $1,000 a month to someone else, either the landlord or the bank in terms of interest, okay? What if you could keep that $1,000 and invest it at about 5% every single year for the next 40 years? How much money do you think you would have, y'all? How much money do you think you have? If you could keep that $1,000 instead of giving it to someone else and invest it every single month at 5%, which is very conservative for the next 40 years, you would all have $1.5 million. You would all have $1.5 million. So the pathway that I'm showing you tonight through multifamily real estate is a guaranteed path to you becoming a millionaire. But I want to be very clear. This is not get rich quick. This is get rich guaranteed over time. This is not get rich quick. This is get rich guaranteed over time. Some of you just not patient enough. You over here chasing multi-level marketing organizations and they promise you residual income. You ain't got one check yet. You got caught up in a given flower or given pod, which they're calling a susu, which is actually not a susu. Susus actually work. What they're putting this trickery out online, that's not real. How are you just going to give $4,000, put $1,000 in, and you somehow magically get 4,000 out? You don't think somebody loses at the end of the day when that thing ends? Because you've been chasing get rich quick stuff. How's that working out for you right now? If you would have planted all those seeds from when you got, and me too, I'm guilty. I was in 2x2.net in college. If I took all that money that I put in 2x2.net and I would have invested that, guess how much money that would be right now? Okay, so we got to get off of that. I know you're trying to catch up, and so you're looking for some home run, but we're going to get to home plate. We're literally going to get to home plate by hitting a whole bunch of singles. Every property that I get is another single, and another run comes in. Hit another single, another run, get a double, another run comes in. We're going to string together some wins, and that's what's going to get us where we're ultimately trying to go. All right? Now, some of you are like, oh, Julian, I ain't got 40 years. Stop being selfish. You ain't got 40 years left, then that's okay. You got kids or you got grandchildren. How about you get the baton down the road for them so they aren't starting at zero? Stop being so selfish. Every other culture, they're thinking in 100-year terms. All we can think about is next month. Every other culture is thinking 100-year terms. We think about next month. What about me? What about me? Not willing to sacrifice. The hardest part of generational wealth is being the first generation to create it. The hardest part of generational wealth is being the first generation to create it. Okay? If you don't do it, then guess what? You just kicking the can down to the next generation, hoping that somebody there does. Okay? When you have the power and the capability to do that right now. So for those of you who are renters, I got to come at y'all for a second. As you can see, I moved from poet to corny jokes to tough love. Okay? We're going to get it all tonight. If you are a renter, I need to just keep it 100 with you. You are homeless. If you are a renter, you are homeless. Now, subconsciously, you've been calling it my house and my apartment. And because you call it my house or my apartment, you've been training your subconscious mind that we're safe. But the reality is that you're not. You are not on the title. You are not on the deed. You've been renting from Sally or Tommy for the past 5 years, but you've been calling it yours. You over here painting the walls, putting up bookshelves, buying furniture to fit in certain nooks and art and things of that nature. You sweeping the hallways, you mowing the lawn, you acting like it's yours, and it's not. Shoot, if I was your neighbor, I'd probably be convinced, oh, that must be hers the way she's treating that home. And it's not. Now, you knew that when you moved in there, you were supposed to be there temporarily, but you slipped into renter's mentality. When you moved in, you should have kept all of your U-Haul boxes packed up. Why would you unpack somewhere where you're only staying temporarily, y'all? Why would you unpack and get comfortable in a place where you actually only staying temporarily? When I travel somewhere, I don't unpack my suitcase and put it in the drawers and hang up all my clothes. Why? Because I know I'm not going to be there forever. I keep all my stuff in my suitcase and I live out of my suitcase. You should have been eating off of paper plates knowing that. Why would I unpack when I know that I'm actually going to be moving from here in a year? So I need everybody to get in the mentality that I refuse to renew my lease. I refuse to renew my lease because I'm about to do something different. I don't care if you got coffee and hot chocolate in the lobby. I don't care if you got barbecue food and Thai food on the first floor. I don't care if you got a review. All I care about is, do you own it? Do you own it? If not, don't talk to me. Okay? So here we have a person who's actually sleeping on a bus bench, a person who's actually homeless, probably been through some physical trauma, mental illness, probably drug addiction, no money to their name, no wallet, no social security number, no family whatsoever, no roof over their head, no education whatsoever. And how is it that they have as many properties as you do? Zero. Here you are with the internet, probably a computer or $1,000 smartphone, good head on your shoulders, a decent job that's paying you something, family around you, etc. And this homeless person has as many properties as you do. Zero. How does that make any sense? You've been working for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and this homeless person owns as many properties as you do? Come on. It's time to do something different. It's time to get up, get out, and get something. So I hope this was a reality check for you all to realize that you are actually homeless. you are actually homeless. And I hope that awareness causes you to move differently and get more aggressive about you controlling land. When you think about it, y'all, what was God's first gift to man and woman? What was God's first gift? You realize that land was God's first gift to man and woman before even life? That's how valuable real estate is. God created the world before it created humanity. I don't care what you call God. This thing that we're on was here before we had life. It was here. It was the first gift. And especially from a cultural perspective and historical perspective, we've allowed land to be stolen from us. And so now it's time to go get a piece. All right. So for those of you who have single family homes, it ain't safe, it ain't safe, it ain't safe. Why? Because when you look at the word mortgage, you take the prefix mort. It has the same prefix as words like mortician. You want to know why they call it a mortgage? Because the literal meaning is death pledge. The literal meaning of the word mortgage is death pledge. A lot of y'all signed up for 30-year death pledges. Just that's what the word means. And how do I know? Here is how you know. Some of you are stuck in jobs you actually hate because you're afraid of missing one mortgage payment. You are stuck on a corporate plantation doing things that you don't want to do or like to do, but you might be skilled at only because you've been doing them for a long time now. But you are afraid of missing one mortgage payment, so you stay stuck. That's the easiest way to retain an employee. Help them go get a house. Okay? So let me just break this down. If you look at a single family transaction, you watching shows like HGTV, they'll have you fooled. They'll have you thinking, oh, congrats, you're a homeowner, right? They hand you the keys, congrats, you're a homeowner. You are not a homeowner. When you get the keys, you are a home buyer. You are a home buyer. When you get the keys, you only own 3.5% of the home. The bank owns the other 96.5%. So let me explain the actual transaction to you. The truth is that the bank buys your home and then it rents it to you for 30 years. That's the truth. You don't own anything. Unless you paid off the mortgage in full, you don't own anything. Okay? Now you thought, oh, look at me, I'm grown, I'm not paying rent anymore, etc. You're not paying rent to a landlord, but you're paying rent to the bank for their money. It's called interest. You are still renting something. It's just not a place from a landlord. You're renting money from the bank to be in what you're calling your home, which is actually not your home. The interest on a $300K home with 3.5% down at 4% is $208,000. If you divide $208,000 by 360 months, which is a 30-year mortgage, all of you single-family buyers, you are paying $578 per month in rent to the bank. If you go look at your mortgage statement, your first mortgage payment was 70% interest and only 30% principal. It was 70% interest. Let's say it was $1,000. You paid $700 in interest to the bank and $300 went to principal. And so I have not included private mortgage insurance. I have not included your property taxes, and I've not included your homeowner's insurance. Some of you have single family homes. You actually have more money coming out of your pocket related to housing than somebody who's renting the same square footage across the street. Some of you, I'm going to repeat that. Some of you who have single family homes have more money coming out of your pocket every single month related to housing than the person who is renting the same square footage across the street. So this was a trick, y'all. They called it the American dream. That was the brand. It was actually a nightmare to get you trapped, to keep you on the corporate plantation so that you would never run. Stop me when I'm lying. Stop me when I'm lying. Okay? So for the single family buyers out there, please type in chat. If you feel you messed up, type messed up. And I'm not doing this to shame you. I'm doing this to educate all the people who are renters right now to not follow your path. If you are a single family buyer and you feel that you messed up, please let me know in chat. Renters, are you seeing this? Renters, are you seeing this? They're literally telling you, do not follow in our footsteps. Nobody's going to share that on Instagram. Nobody, look at me, I just signed a death pledge. Nobody's going to say that. Everybody's going to put up the picture of, well, look at us, we're homeowners, right? Because that fits into the American dream. But deep down inside, people stressing about the mortgage payment every single month. All right? So there you have it. All right. So I'm going to show you another way. So if you can pay rent, you can own a single family home, right? But if you don't want to pay rent or mortgage ever again, you can simply own a multifamily home. It's that simple, y'all. It's that simple. So now let's get into the down payment. A lot of you feel like, oh, I can't save up for the down payment. You realize that America is not about race. America is not racist. America is classist. America is classist. 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. If Black people only make up 14% of this country, this has nothing to do with just Black people. This means that there's a group of people at the top who are trying to disempower and enslave as many people as they possibly can, whether you're white or you're Black. So y'all can stop taking it personal. Because if you weren't here, if Black people weren't here in the United States, this thing would still play out the way that it's playing out. I'm just calling it what it is. If Black people were not here, it would still play out the way it's playing out. Okay? So this has nothing to do with race, right? A lot of people live in paycheck to paycheck, and this is why people feel like they can't make a down payment, right? But let me show you this. Did you know that there are no money down programs out there? Do you know that there are no money down programs out there? No down payment, no closing costs, no points or fees, no credit score consideration whatsoever. These are not stock images. These are actually people I know. Mark, he has a duplex in Inglewood, California through this program. The Roll family, they have a fourplex in Los Angeles. And Kevin, he has a duplex in Brooklyn, New York. They all went through this program. You see, some of you didn't realize that this program exists because I'm going to tell you something about the mind. You thought you had to see it to believe it. The reality is you have to believe it to see it. You have to believe that something exists to even see it. If you believe that all men are dogs, even if the perfect man walks by you, you won't even recognize him. He could be standing right in front of your face and you wouldn't see it because you have a belief that all men are dogs. If you think that all women are witches, then guess what? The perfect woman could walk by you and you wouldn't even recognize her because you have a belief that she doesn't exist. So some of you had no clue, you didn't believe that this existed, so you never saw the opportunity. But there's a reason that you're here tonight, and that's why I'm here to share it with you. You have to understand that your intellectual property can get you physical property. Your intellectual property can get you physical property, all right? So this program is called NACA, NACA.com, right? No down payment, no closing costs, no points or fees, no credit score consideration, below market 30-year and 15-year fixed rates, right here. So that excuse of, oh, I can't afford it, I can't save up for the down payment, that excuse is gone forever. It's been alleviated. No longer can use that as a crutch. Oh, I can't save up for a down payment. You don't have to. You just go get financed through NACA. That excuse is gone. So I hope that just freed up a lot of you who were using that as a reason or thought that there was a reason that you would never be able to own multifamily real estate or real estate in general. Okay? So say you want to buy a duplex like mine. There's another program called the government's FHA 3.5% down payment program. It's called the FHA loan. So if you wanted to own a duplex like mine here in New Orleans, this one on the left, this costs $300,000. Down payment would be 3.5%. That's $10,500. You could literally control this asset for $10,500. Notice I did not use the word own. I only own 2 out of my 10 properties because they're paid off in cash. Okay, they're paid off in full. I only own 2 of my 10 properties. I control the rest of them. Okay, so we need to be very specific about our language. I control the other properties. Okay, so you could actually control this asset here for $10,500. Right, that's the FHA 3.5% down payment program. Right now, here's why you want to buy multifamily first, right? There are a lot of people who are single family buyers who are here tonight and they use FHA for their first single family home. Put 3.5% down on a $100,000 home. Again, disregard the actual prices, just look at the math. So that's $3,500, right? Now they're here on this webinar and they want to buy a multifamily home, but little do they know is that when you're buying a second home, that's going to be 25% down. So 25% down on $300,000 is $75,000. Okay, so when you add up those 2 down payments, that's $78,000. Watch this, y'all. We literally just changed the sequence. and we use the FHA loan to buy the multifamily first, then look how much down payment you pay. You put 3.5% down on $300,000. That's $10,500. After living there for 1 year, which is the FHA living requirement, then you go buy the single family, putting 25% down on 100,000. That's $25,000. Together, those down payments are only $35,000. It's literally twice as easy to buy a multifamily first and then a single family than it is to buy a single family and then a multifamily. It's literally twice as easy. All we did was change the sequence, y'all. That's all we did. Not rocket science. Just putting things in the proper sequence and order, not going after the American dream according to how they see it. Okay. Now, for those of you who are single family buyers, I know you're probably like, oh my goodness. Single family buyers, you are not stuck. Okay. There are 6 ways. I need you to type in 6-5. Single family buyers type 6-5. There are 6 ways for you to reverse yourself out of that situation. There are 5 ways to use FHA twice. There are not 666. No, not 666. No, 6-5. There are 6 ways to reverse yourself out of that situation. Only 2 of them require you to sell your home if you're not attached to it. Okay. And there are 5 ways to use FHA twice. So you are not stuck. However, for single family buyers, we're going to have to be like a bow and arrow. We're going to have to go a little bit backwards in order to go forward. For the single family buyers, we're going to have to go a little bit backwards in order to go forward. Is that clear? Type clear if that's clear for the single family buyers. All right. And I'll talk about some of those strategies in a second. All right. So for those of you who came in late, this is my actual portfolio. These are the 10 properties that I control, the 30 apartments, 13.83% cash on cash return, 19.5% appreciation, $36,000 per month in rent, and $4.1 million in value, all built over the past 6 years. So I'm about to lay out the blueprint and the game plan for you all to follow. Okay. This is it in a nutshell in a couple slides. Right now, many of you are renting. Okay. I know we have a lot of single family buyers here tonight, but many of you are renting. You're paying $1,000 a month in rent to the landlord, and you're saving perhaps $250. Okay. That landlord takes that $3,000, pays the mortgage of $1,500, pockets the other $1,500, and goes on about their life. Now you want to be the landlord. Okay. So you go buy a similar property using FHA or NACA, okay, as the one you were living in. So now the moment you do that, which is exactly what I did in Brooklyn, the moment you do that, now you have rents coming from the 3rd and the 2nd floor. That's $2,000 to you. You are now also living rent free at this time. Okay. You don't have a mortgage payment because the rents from the 2nd and 3rd floor are paying the mortgage. On top of that, you have additional $1,000 in your pocket because you're no longer paying rent anymore. Okay. You don't pay rent to anybody. So that's $3,000 in your pocket. What you do is you take that $3,000 and you pay the $1,500 mortgage. And now you're living rent free and have $1,500 in your pocket. You went from paying $1,000 a month and owning nothing or controlling nothing to now living rent free and having $1,500 in your pocket. Now, some of you are, Julian, I want the American dream. I want the white picket fence and the nuclear family and the dog named Lassie. I don't want people living above me. I don't want to share walls, etc. Okay. FHA has a 1-year living requirement. So once you live there for 1 year, you move out into the single family that you desire. You rent out your unit. Now you have $3,000 coming from this building, plus the $1,000 from not paying rent a year ago. Okay. And so that's $4,000 in your pocket. You take $1,500 to pay this mortgage. You take $1,500 to pay that mortgage. Now you have 2 properties, a triplex and your single family of your dreams. You're not paying either of the mortgages and you have $1,000 in your pocket. This is the game plan right here. This is the strategy, y'all. This is the play that I'm teaching you to run. And it all hinges on you buying this first property right. Before you signed on tonight, some of you didn't know that you were literally within 3 months of achieving rent and mortgage freedom. Some of you are literally within 3 months of achieving rent and mortgage freedom. Imagine being a slave, or there's no such thing as slaves. There are people who are enslaved. Okay. Imagine being enslaved for 40 years on a corporate plantation. And when you're on your deathbed, somebody came to you and said, hey, look what I just found out. I just found out that the Mason-Dixon line is right there on the horizon where that big tall tree is. And you've been slaving for 40 years and didn't even know it. And somebody tells you after a long period of time, if you would have known that the Mason-Dixon, that you were in Maryland and the Mason-Dixon line was that close all along, you would have ran for it. Some of you will achieve rent and mortgage freedom before the end of the year, just because you came to this webinar tonight. Some of you it's going to take 6 months. Some of you it may take a year. but rent and mortgage freedom is closer than you even imagined. Okay? So this is the play that we're seeking to run. So let me get into the multifamily math, right? If I told you I found an ATM machine that would eliminate your $1,000 a month rent expense forever, and on top of that, give you an extra $90 cash every single month guaranteed, all you have to do is pay $10,500 one time by Friday, would you give up or go get the money? Would you give up or go get the money? I found an ATM machine that will pay you $1,090 every single month. All you have to do is pay $10,500 by Friday. It'll pay you that every single month guaranteed. Would you give up or go get the money? Okay? Y'all understand this is a cash on cash return equation. This is the most valuable equation in multifamily real estate. You realize that you would get all your money back in 10 months. So you got to do whatever you got to do to go borrow it. If you don't have it in your account, you go figure out how to get it because this is an asset that you would have. Okay? Well, let me show you that ATM machine, y'all. It's right here. Dylan, we don't do, I would try to get the money. No, it's either you're going to get it or you're not going to get it. We don't do try. All right. So here's my ATM machine, y'all. You just couldn't see it as an ATM machine because you've been taught to look at real estate from aesthetics as opposed to economics. Okay. Look at this. The price of this property, $300,000. The down payment, 3.5%. That's $10,500. That's how much you say you would go get. Rent, $3,200 for this property, $1,600 per unit. Mortgage, $1,259. Taxes, insurance, $335. CapEx, repair reserve, and vacancy rate, $515. The total cash flow, positive cash flow in my pocket every single month from this property is $1,090 every single month. This is the ATM machine. You've been driving by it on your way to work, on your way to the grocery store, on the way to drop off your kids at school. You just couldn't see it as such because you've been taught to look at real estate from an aesthetic standpoint, how it looks, right? Because of HGTV and not based on economics. So there are literally assets that you were driving by, ATM machines that you were driving by that now you'll be able to evaluate them and say, let me go look at the numbers on that. Because that actually might be a good deal that I can add to my family name. All right. So answer me this, y'all. What other business can you buy for $300,000 with only $10,500 down, get financed for the other $289,000 in 30 to 45 days, that immediately cash flows in 30 days, and succeed with minimal time, effort, or experience? Please let me know in chat. What other business can you buy? Told y'all we was gonna have some fun tonight. There are none. This is why this has to be the first asset in your family's name. Okay, this is it. Okay, so when you're buying multifamily real estate, there's a difference in terms of how you evaluate a deal. For a single family home, it's 3 questions. How much do we get approved for? We got approved for 400,000. How much is the home? It's 380. Do I like it? Yes or no? Okay, 3 factors. When you're buying multifamily real estate, you have to evaluate 23 numbers to evaluate a deal. Okay. This is a financial model. It's called the Purchase or Pass Deal Analyzer that I built out over the past 7 years. If you use it, you will never make a mistake on a real estate investment. You have to know what the 23 numbers are, where to find them, why they're important, and then how to plug them in to evaluate deals. I don't think about deals. The Purchase or Pass Deal Analyzer in the lower right, it literally, once I plug in the 23 numbers, it tells me whether to purchase or pass. Okay. This is not an emotional decision. This is all economics, y'all. Okay. So you have to learn how to evaluate deals quickly. Because I know how to evaluate deals quickly, I can get a deal sent to me. I get off-market deals sent to me. Okay. I run the numbers. I text my agent, right? My price. And within 30 minutes, I have a signed purchase agreement into the seller. Just like that. Okay. This is how you move. The only thing that beats a cash offer is a fast offer. The only thing that beats a cash offer is a fast offer. So you have to know how to evaluate deals. Okay. Now, myth number 2 is that you feel like you missed your opportunity in real estate. Oh, I wish I would have bought way back when, this and that. That's not how this industry works. Properties will always be sold. There will always be deals to be found. In real estate, you create your opportunities, right? You have to retrain your eyes in terms of how you see opportunities. because a lot of you have allowed HGTV to train your eyes when it comes to real estate. I want to be very clear with you. HGTV is foolishness. Your first investment property won't look like anything you've seen on HGTV. Your first investment property probably won't look like anything you've seen on HGTV. None of my properties look like these pictures. None of my properties have granite countertops. And guess what, y'all? I don't care. That's not what it is about when you're a real estate investor. When you're looking for your single family home, your dream home, yeah, go focus on those kind of things, but not when you're looking for an investment property. All right. You watching shows like the Property Brothers, I say, screw the Property Brothers. Okay. I'm your new property brother with an A. Okay. I'm going to keep it real with you about real estate. This is about guaranteed cash flow, not granite countertops. This is about guaranteed cash flow, not granite countertops. Let me just put it to you like this. Some of y'all walking into real estate and you see some granite countertops and you just start drooling and you're about to make a $400,000 decision based on some $1,200 countertops. It only costs $1,200 to get granite countertops with an undermount sink. And you're about to make a $400,000 decision off a $1,200 countertop. Oh, look at these stainless steel appliances. A stainless steel double door fridge costs about $800 at Lowe's. And you're about to make a $400,000 decision off an $800 refrigerator. Who taught you to focus on the refrigerator and the granite countertops? TV shows on HGTV. That is not what we look for when we're looking for a real estate deal. Okay? That is the last thing we look for. Those are nice to have if they exist. Okay? That is not what we focus on. All right? So let me show you my first property in Brooklyn. Okay? Was not a traditional brownstone, right? But it was a 3-family. Had nice wood floors. They're a little bit squeaky. That's all right. Linen white paint. That's what they call this paint. No creativity whatsoever. Just linen white paint on everything. Okay. And look at my kitchen. You see granite countertops in my kitchen? Nope. Formica. The cheapest countertop that you can get. You can go get this at Home Depot or Lowe's right now. Look at my appliances. They are not stainless steel. They are white appliances, right? The cabinets, cheapest cabinets you can get at Lowe's or Home Depot. This was my first property. And I want to be very clear. I knew this was not my dream home, but it made my dreams possible. I knew this was not my dream home, but it has made my dreams possible and it'll be in my family's name forever. Okay. So I want to explain the difference between an HGTV single family buyer and a multifamily investor. HGTV buyers, they're looking for granite countertops. Multifamily investors, we're looking for guaranteed cash flow. Single family HGTV buyers, they're looking for their dream home. Multifamily investors, they're looking for an asset that will pay for their dream home. Single family HGTV buyers, they buy based on emotions. Multifamily investors buy based on economics. Single family HGTV buyers, they're looking for finished basements, one of those buzzwords. Or if multifamily investors, they're looking to start building wealth. You have to ask yourself, which side of the equation do you want to be on? Which side of the equation do you want to be on? Okay. Now, some people say, oh, I want to be on both. Okay, you can be on both. But I guarantee that if you start on the multifamily investor side, you can have whatever single family home that you want. You just need to have some patience. Some of you just have these timelines in your head. Oh, I want to be married by this age, and I want to have 6 figures by this age, and I want to have a single family home by this age because my friends have it, and I want to have kids by this age, and all these timelines. Whereas if you followed a different timeline, because obviously that American dream timeline isn't working out for folks if 78% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck. That timeline that you're chasing is not working for 78% of people. So let's take this other road that's actually going to get you to freedom, even though it looks unconventional and untraditional. All right. So next thing is a multifamily map. All right. A lot of y'all are looking for deals on Trulia and Zillow. Trulia and Zillow don't have real estate deals. Sorry to break the news to you. Trulia and Zillow have a lot of real estate listings. Listings. What letter do you see up, y'all? What letter do you see up right now? An L. If you go to Trulia and Zillow looking for real estate deals, you will come up with an L. Trulia and Zillow where multifamily real estate deals go to die. Okay. If you look at Reonomy said mass marketed listings regularly command a 30% premium to off-market deals. We are not looking for real estate listings. We are looking for real estate deals. There is a huge difference. A real estate deal, buying right, means that you are stepping into equity. Buying right means that it has at least a 12% cash on cash return. Buying right means that there's definite appreciation potential. Okay? So we don't look on Trulia and Zillow. A lot of y'all out here bookmarking stuff and hearting properties. Oh, I'm gonna go look at this on the weekend. If there was ever a real estate deal that showed up on Trulia and Zillow, I would have made an offer on it within 30 minutes. And you talking about, I'm gonna check this out on the weekend after I get off the corporate plantation. That thing will be under contract. You be, oh, it's under contract already. How many of y'all got caught up like that? Just type me. If you bookmark something and it was under contract before you could even turn, get your coffee, because you playing against bets, y'all. I found a couple deals on Truly and Zillow, but you know how I found them? They got posted at 7 a.m. and my offer was in by 8 a.m. Okay, I didn't wait for no open house. I ran the numbers and the numbers made sense. I wasn't waiting for an open house. I don't need to see the property. If I know the neighborhood and I know the numbers work, and I see some pictures and it's fairly decent, I'm making an offer. Okay, that's the kind of confidence I can move with in this game. All right. So what we're looking for is off-market deals. I have off-market deals coming to me via Instagram, via text message, via email, via Facebook every single day. You all know what an off-market deal is. You just don't know what it is in real estate. How many of y'all have the hookup somewhere, like at Foot Locker, or your friend worked at some clothing store or the sporting arena? How many of y'all have had the hookup before? Y'all know what the off-market deal is. I remember getting the Silver Tim Duncans in high school because my homegirl worked at Foot Locker. So I got them because of a relationship. I got them at a discounted price and I got them before anyone else. That was an off-market deal. So a lot of us have been using off-market deals to buy expenses and liabilities. What we're trying to do now is take that same concept and use it to buy assets that produce income. You know what an off-market deal is. It is based on relationships and research. This is how we get off-market deals. We don't use Truly and Zillow. Those aren't the websites we focus on. Okay, we're looking for off-market deals because that's where the value is. All right. So one of my students said, Gabrielle said, Ronique, congratulations. You find this deal on Zillow? He said, no, I found it through a real estate financial broker who knew a wholesaler. Okay, this is about understanding and building out your real estate Rolodex. Okay, you have to expand your real estate Rolodex. It is the relationships in that Rolodex that bring deals to you. I get deals coming to me from contractors, from wholesalers, from agents, from lenders. I get deals coming to me from human beings, not from websites. All right. So from there, you have to develop your 4 eyes of real estate. First one is, do you have eyes for the market? How do you know if a market is expanding or contracting? What kind of data and trends do you look for to be able to evaluate a market? Because some of you have to find a new market because your market might be too expensive. Okay. Then you have to have eyes for the neighborhood. What are the 33 signs of gentrification? There are literally 33 signs of gentrification. One of them is a white girl running at 9:30 p.m. at night in her Lululemon with her earpods in and not looking over her shoulder, feeling very, very safe with her $20,000 wedding ring on. That's a sign of gentrification. Okay. I'm just calling it what it is. That is a sign of gentrification. If you see that, then you know gentrification is occurring. Now, I want to get very clear about gentrification. What we've been calling gentrification is actually colonization. Colonization was when a group of people come from the outside and try to displace the people who are native to a particular neighborhood or land. Gentrification is actually the upliftment of a community. So if there's an entire block of Black owners and they all decide to put plants in their front yards and repaint the fronts of their homes, then guess what? They just gentrified their own neighborhood. Okay. What we've been calling gentrification is actually colonization. This is when outsiders come in and try to displace the original people. Okay. So you need to know what the 33 signs of gentrification are. I bought in Brooklyn on the other side of Utica. Okay. When I bought in Brooklyn in 2013, they were still shooting up. You could hear still gunshots and police sirens at night. And guess what has happened to my property value since then, y'all? It is still shooting up. Up and up and up and up. Okay. So do you want to buy in a neighborhood that has all 33 signs of gentrification? Do you want to buy in a neighborhood that has all 33 signs of gentrification? No. Okay. Then you're buying at peak prices. You want to buy in a neighborhood that has 15 to 20 signs of gentrification and it's moving towards 33. My neighborhood is about 30 signs of gentrification now. I bought when it had 15 to 20. This is the name of the game. Then you have to have eyes for the property. How do you know if when you go into a property, we're not looking at granite countertops. We're not looking at stainless steel appliances. We're looking for hidden value and hidden cost. Hidden value and hidden cost. I literally have about a checklist of 40 things that I'm looking for in terms of hidden value in that home. Then I have about 30 things of hidden costs that I'm looking for. I'm not looking at the same things that the novice buyer is looking for. Okay. And then number 4 is eyes for the deal. There's typically 3 ways to structure any real estate deal. You have to know which one is best for that given property, right? Now, you need more than just a real estate agent, okay? Some of you have real estate agents and you outsource your entire search to an agent. You have to understand that real estate agents typically don't understand multifamily real estate investing. Here's how you know. Go ask your agent to calculate cash on cash return. Go ask your real estate agent to calculate cash on cash return, which is the number 1 metric in evaluating multifamily real estate deal. Most of them won't know how to do it without Googling it. Here's why. It's not on the real estate exam. Real estate agents are in the business of selling single family homes to American dreamers. Real estate agents are in the business of selling single family homes to American dreamers. I only work with real estate agents who understand multifamily real estate themselves or own multifamily real estate themselves. Okay. So you have to be more knowledgeable than your agent, and then you use your agent to execute. So your agent executes on the deal, but you have to be the one to evaluate it. The agent executes on the deal, negotiates all that stuff, but you have to be the one to evaluate it. Okay. So myth number 3, this one's going to mess up a lot of y'all heads. This is going to give some of y'all a headache. I need to pay down my debt first. Whew, that is such a lie. In order to get into multifamily real estate, that is not what you need to do. You need to buy an asset that will pay down your debt first. I'm going to repeat that. You don't need to pay down your debt first. You need to buy an asset that will pay down your debt. Some of y'all on this Dave Ramsey tip, you know what I'm saying? You're rushing to pay off your student loans and things of that nature. That is the most financially irresponsible thing that you could do. I know it sounds like you're being a good kid and financially responsible. It's backwards. Okay. Do you realize that debt-free does not mean financially free? Do you realize that debt-free does not mean that you are financially free? It just means you have no debt. And that may look good, but it's not the name of the game. Because if all your income is still active income, you are not financially free. Financial freedom is when your passive income is greater than your cost of living. Financial freedom is when your passive income is greater than your cost of living. So the goal is not to be debt-free. Maybe towards the end of your life, you want to be debt-free, but not right now. You know, what did Nipsey say? Ain't no point in playing defense. That's why I dove off the deep end. Some of y'all are playing defense right now. And when I look in your bank account, you ain't got nothing to defend. You got $4,000 in your bank account and you playing defense. You need to be on 100% offense. We out here with our back against the wall needing to risk it all. You playing defense with $4,000 in your bank account? No, it's time to be on offense, especially with these interest rates, y'all. So let me explain this to you. You have to understand the difference between bad debt and good debt. We do want to get rid of bad debt, okay? Bad debt is debt that you have to pay off. Good debt is debt that pays for itself. So bad debt is single family mortgage. Why? Because you have to pay it off. It's credit cards because you have to pay it off. It's student loans because you have to pay it off. But good debt is debt where you actually use it to acquire an asset that not only pays off the debt, but also leads you with cash flow. So if you use debt to acquire multifamily real estate, that multifamily real estate then gives you cash flow that you use to pay your single family mortgage. It then gives you no rent, which you use to pay off your credit cards, and then it gives you tax savings that you use to pay off your student loans. So you have to understand the difference between good debt and bad debt. The reason you had a negative relationship with debt is because you have primarily bad debt. You want to go acquire good debt, okay? So how many of you got student loans? Let me know in chat. How many of y'all got student loans? Okay, I'm gonna give y'all some game. I'm gonna give y'all some game. I hope you're ready. Imagine 2 people have $40,000 in student loans. One is on the Dave Ramsey plan and they're rushing to pay off their student loans because they're tired of Sally Mae. Why are you mad at Sally Mae? You should be mad at your college. Why were you mad at Sally Mae? Be mad at the college, not just for not giving you anything, not Sally Mae. Sally Mae is just collecting, okay? So you rushing to pay off your debt, all right? And the other person came to this webinar and said, I'm not rushing to pay off that debt. I'm actually going to buy an asset that pays off that debt. Watch this. The person who's on the Dave Ramsey plan, they're like, I'm gonna pay off $20,000 per year for the next 2 years. I'm gonna eat top ramen and peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I'm gonna sleep on the floor at my friend's house. Okay, and I'm gonna ride my bike to work. And they think they're being a good kid, so they're rushing to pay off the debt. When the other person who came to this webinar, instead, they bought a $300,000 multifamily home, a triplex. Okay, so now person A, who was on the Dave Ramsey plan, they paid off their debt after 2 years, but since they paid off their debt, they now have no money. They have no money. So they have to save up money in order to now become a real estate buyer. And so now it's 4 years later, and now they're ready to buy. But what has happened to the price of that home? What has happened to the price of that $300,000 home, y'all? It has gone up over the past 4 years. At 3% appreciation, that property costs around $340,000 now. So watch this, y'all. Here's where the sickness is. This person rushed to pay off $40,000 in student debt, thinking that they were being good. They delayed buying a property that they could have gotten at $300,000. That property is now $40,000. Guess what? $340,000. So guess what? They just got the debt that they rushed to pay off. They just got the $40,000 handed right back to them in the form of a mortgage. I'm going to repeat that. They rushed to pay off $40,000 in student debt. Now they've delayed buying a home that they could have gotten for $300,000. It now costs $340,000. They now got that student debt handed right back to them in the form of $40,000 in additional mortgage. Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch that? The other person who came to this webinar and bought multifamily real estate, not only has their income from that property been paying off their minimum payment on their student debt, their property is also appreciated by $40,000. So their net worth is $40,000 up. See, when you don't understand how money works, then you make the wrong decisions. Okay. So again, this is not just about multifamily real estate. This is about wealth consciousness. And if you caught this, then you're starting to understand how to play this game. All right. So there's 4 financial benefits to multifamily real estate. This one property, I've run the numbers. This is what it's going to yield over the next 30 years. Remember, I told you this is not get rich quick. This is get rich guaranteed over time. Okay. Watch what this one property is going to do for my last name. The cash flow on this property after principal, interest, taxes, insurance, capex, repair reserve, and vacancy rate will yield $638,000 in cash flow. The tax savings, meaning all the deductions that I get, okay, over the 30-year period, will be $278,000. I'm literally going to save $250,000 in taxes because I control this property. The principal pay down will be $225,000. Okay, the tenants pay the principal down. I don't pay it down. The rents pay it down. And then if this property appreciates by 1% every single year for the next 30 years, that would be an additional $104,000, even though real estate appreciates at 3%. So when you add all those things together, this one single purchase, y'all, is going to lead to a $1.2 million shift in generational wealth for my last name. One property, and I have 10 of them. One property, and I have 10 of them. This is the name of the game, y'all. We're using fake monopoly money, which you have in your wallet or your purse right now, to buy real assets that actually have some value. And when you do that over time, you will see your wealth increase. Okay? So you need to ask yourself the $1 million question. What are you going to do today to make sure that you are never economically vulnerable like this tomorrow? Some of you were exposed by coronavirus. You realize that you had decent income, but you had no assets. Some of you got furloughed. Some of you got your salaries cut, things of that nature. Some of you walking on eggshells, wondering if you're going to get fired, etc. You have to do something different so that if this thing comes back around again or something comes around in the future, that you never feel economically vulnerable. So everybody's always talking about securing the bag, securing the bag, securing the bag. Here's how you do it. You secure the bag by securing a building, and then that will secure your housing, your retirement, and your legacy. All right. So with that, I want to ask, what was your greatest takeaway from tonight's presentation? What was your greatest takeaway or aha moment? I see questions coming up in chat. We already addressed this at the beginning. I'm going to do a Q&A very soon. Okay. Please, I'm going to do a Q&A in just a second. If it's in chat, I'm going to miss it. So make sure you copy your question. Financing, everything you mentioned, the down payment, purchase a multifamily first, that I don't have to pay debt. NACA. Um, good, 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 good. That I can use FHA twice with the exclamation mark. I'm homeless. Cool, cool, cool. Beautiful. So with that, earlier I asked for your permission if I could share an opportunity with you for those of you who are serious and wanted to accelerate your process, make sure you didn't make mistakes and be led by someone who's been able to do it for themselves and show other people the way. If I still got the green light from you after the time that we've had together, please type yes in chat and I'll share that opportunity with you. If you're not interested, it's all good. It's all love. I want to thank you for being here and I wish you the best on your journey. I hope I've given you enough to take action in an informed way. But if you really want some help to make sure that you do this right, then I'm going to share an opportunity with you to consider. All right. So I'm seeing a lot of yeses in chat. Awesome. Beautiful. So let me get into it real quick. So here's the deal. Obviously, you're here because you like me. You want generational wealth. You want passive income and you want more freedom. All right. That's what I wanted when I started this game. And you've been thinking about real estate for quite some time. You just didn't know how to get in the game, or you bought a single family because you're just like, look, I just want to own something. All right. Now, there's many ways to make money in real estate. There's tax liens, there's wholesaling, there's fix and flip, there's Airbnb and vacation rentals. Where my expertise is in multifamily real estate. This is where I can do a deep dive with you. This hour-long presentation that we had is just a demonstration. This is just the tip of the iceberg that we covered today, all right? For those of you who came in late, this is my actual real estate portfolio. These are the 10 properties that I control. These are the 30 apartments that I have. And like I said, they yield about $36,000 per month in rent and $4.1 million in value. Now, I want to be very transparent with you all. I do not pocket all $36,000. That $36,000 is the top line. I have my principal, interest, taxes, insurance, CapEx, repair reserve, and vacancy rate. Okay. So I keep about 40% of that. Right. Now, let me explain. Remember, I'm playing the long-term game. My daughter is 6 years old right now. At the age of 35, when all these mortgages are paid off, she will literally, if I stopped right now, she would literally have $25,000 per month in positive cash flow for the rest of her life. If I stopped right now at the age of 35, my daughter would have $25,000 per month in positive cash flow for the rest of her life. See, those gifts that you were thinking about getting your kids for birthdays or for holidays or Black Fridays, that's not love, y'all. That's temporary. You have to make sacrifices to set them up for the future so that they can have things that you didn't have. We need to redefine what love is, and love is actually leaving a legacy, not just buying a new entertainment system, okay? Not just getting some new shoes or new clothes. That's the temporary stuff. That thing fades. Those are all expenses and liabilities. Love is handing down assets, all right? So for those of you who are skeptics or cynics, and I've seen some people doubting in the chat, and that's okay. The greatest sin in the world is cynicism. The greatest sin in the world is cynicism, not believing in yourself, not believing things are possible, okay? And so before you cut somebody else off from stepping into a possibility that I've been able to create for myself and many others, I just want you to just zip it for a second. Just zip it, because you actually don't know, okay? I actually know. Not only have I been across the Mason-Dixon line, I've helped many other people get across the Mason-Dixon line, all right? So if there are any cynics out there or skeptics and you're wondering, are those really my properties? You can go to nolaassessor.com, search NOLA Assessor on Google, type in my name, Julian Newton Gordon, or Purpose Properties, and you will see my name next to those properties if you need to verify. I encourage you to all do your research. Not only do I want you to make informed decisions about this program, I want you to make informed decisions about multifamily real estate and any investment that you make. I want you to be informed, period, okay? So what I want you to invite you all to be a part of is a program I created called the Multifamily Masterplan. It is a 12-week experience where I will guide you through everything that we just discussed and a lot more to accelerate how quickly you're able to buy a multifamily home the right way. They give you rent freedom for those of you who are renters, and or positive cash flow that pays another debt like mortgage, student loans, credit cards, or medical bills, all right? The way that program is structured is that there's 5 modules. It's finance it, find it, finalize it, fix it, and fill it. And I'm gonna run through those pretty quick, all right? So the first module, finance it, we're gonna go to no money down programs and grants you can use to get started without having a huge savings, okay? What exactly are lenders looking for? The key numbers and ratios you need to be aware of. Quick credit fixes to improve your credit score and keep your interest rate down and save tens of thousands of dollars in interest FHA loans debunk the dark side that most people don't tell you beyond it being 3.5% down, why you must shop for lenders first and not the home, and how to get the lowest interest rate possible by doing so, why you should go as big as possible on your first multifamily home as long as it makes sense. All right. So that's the first module. Here are to my students. This is what Sandy said. I now have 3 pre-approval letters, one for 500K, one for 415K, and the last one I got this morning is for VA for 700K. You see the difference in all those, okay? So we don't just go to one lender and say, oh, this is what this lender is giving me. We actually interview several lenders. For the newbies in the group, do not skip steps. That is our #1 motto in the program. Do not skip steps. I will leverage these to get the best rate, but of course, the VA loan is my first choice. And then Chandrika, she said, a couple of lenders tried to okey doke on me, specifically with leaving out prepaid costs, offering more money, and lowering rate by doubling all their fees. So you have to understand that these people on the other side of the table are not your friends. Okay, you have to be educated as you go into these deals so that you can stand in your power and know when you're being played and get the deal that is meant for you. Okay, otherwise you will get burned. All right. So the next is the Find It module. How to find great deals in your backyard. Literally, my first deal was actually in my backyard. I was renting on Fulton Street in Brooklyn. The property that I ended up buying shares a backyard with the one that I ended up buying. Okay. You're going to learn the 23 signs of gentrification to ensure that you buy right before the prices in your neighborhood rise, not after they do. How to use the internet and the specific websites you need to know to finance and do due diligence on a deal. Keep in mind, we are not talking about Trulia, Zillow, or Redfin. How to evaluate a deal in another state if you're investing from a distance. Why the asking price doesn't matter, the real metrics that make a deal worth it or not, and the people and tools you need in place to get off-market deals coming to you daily. All right. Then we're going to get into Finalize It, the 23 numbers, the purchase or pass deal analyzer that I showed you, the 23 numbers you need to truly evaluate whether to purchase or pass on a real estate opportunity, how to quickly evaluate a deal in 10 minutes or less so that you can get your offer in before anyone else, the 4 most overlooked numbers that can make or break a deal, how to never pay at or above asking price and get it reduced to whatever you desire without worrying about the seller walking away, and the 5 ways to exit any deal if the numbers aren't adding up or something doesn't feel right. Then we're going to get into the Fix It module, the 10 types of contractor you need to have and trust in and on speed dial once a deal is in motion, okay? Not after. You do not need contractors after you get the keys. You need these contractors before you even make your offer, okay? How to vet your team beyond using Yelp or Angie's List, the questions to ask and the things to look for. Walk, crawl, climb, everything you must do, ask, and look for during the inspection process. The inspection process is one of your greatest points of leverage in the real estate negotiation. I've literally had a student get the price reduced by $35,000 because of the tools that I've taught him in this program. First things first, what are the very first things you need to do once you have the keys? Hint, it is not move in. Fix it or nix it, what you should fix immediately and what can wait for later until cash starts flowing, okay? Then fill it, you're a landlord now. How to avoid those 3 a.m. phone calls and manage a building without always being there. How to find great tenants fast if you have vacant units that need to be filled, what you need, who you need, and where to post. A free download of my sample lease agreement, long distance investing secrets, how to manage your investments without being there, and the top 20 markets to invest in, all right? For those of you who are single family buyers, I told you 65, 65, 65. There's a module specifically for you in the special situation section that shows you the 6 ways to reverse yourself out of that situation and the 5 ways to use FHA twice. So when you join, this is the first module that I want you to go to so that you can pick your course of action and then we can build from there. All right. So there's, again, it's going to be like a bow and arrow. We got to go backwards a little bit in order to go forward. All right. So I'm going to share some success stories with you really quick. And I got quite a few. This is the Roll family. You saw them earlier. This is what they said. Julian's journey has always been an inspiration. My wife and I, we didn't think we were ready, but Julian helped us see that we were. Now we own a 4-plex in Los Angeles that is already appreciated and generates enough cash flow for my wife and I to both step into entrepreneurship full time while still being financially responsible parents of our 1-year-old daughter, Jubilee. Okay, so that's the Roll family. The Campbell family, my issue was that I had a rental property that I wasn't cash flowing because I didn't buy right, as Julian always says. Thanks to his coaching, we came up with a strategy to sell that property and leverage it up into a multifamily unit using a 1031 exchange. We found a real estate attorney to transfer the property out of my name into the LLC. Now that we corrected our real estate wrongs and have a cash flowing Airbnb in Charlotte, which Julian taught me how to scale quickly, in a multifamily where we lived mortgage free in one of the 2 units. This is Dante. He closed in 34 days. Helped him find a duplex here in New Orleans. He's moved off to the Bay Area and still controls that property today. Jackie, Bought a triplex and a single family from a distressed seller in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. For those of you out there in the Northeast, Spencer lives in Texas. Bought this duplex in his hometown of Cleveland, Ohio. The Powell family, they live in Oakland, and of course, Oakland is expensive. So they actually ended up investing in this duplex in Detroit, Michigan. Jason lives in San Antonio, Texas. I helped him find this duplex here in New Orleans, about 5 minutes away from me. Robin, single mom, and she bought this duplex here in New Orleans. This is Ronique. He closed in less than 30 days on this fourplex in Birmingham, Alabama. He's actually already working on his next property, where he's going to do the Burr method. He bought it for $25,000. Is going to put $45,000 into it. It's going to be worth $175,000. So he's literally about to step into $100,000 in equity because of what I taught him in this program. One of our youngest students, Demetrius, he's 26 years old, used his VA loan, and he closed on a fourplex in Killeen, Texas in 4 months. Stephen lives in the Northeast. I helped him find a duplex here in New Orleans. He got it for $35,000 under asking price because of what I taught him and how I taught him to leverage the inspection process. April got this fourplex in Virginia Beach, Virginia, where she actually lives in one unit, Airbnb's the other. And even in the midst of COVID, she made $27,000 from Airbnb. And then this is Jay. She closed on a single family home. Normally, I don't have my students do single family homes, but she found one with a lot of equity in it, and then the deal still made sense. This is Fernando. They're actually in Los Angeles, him and his family. They bought this on March 5th, 2020. They're going to run the group home business model through this particular property, and they say that the numbers are crazy as such. Terrence also used his VA loan to buy this fourplex in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Jetro went to University of Florida, so he bought this fourplex in Gainesville, Florida. He does not live in Florida. So he's investing from a distance. Sandra bought this duplex for $15,000 cash in Kansas City, Missouri. She's going to use the Burr method and actually develop it and then do a cash out refi to get all her money out of the deal. Then Nicole, she closed on this fourplex in Chicago, Illinois. The original price was $362,000. She got it for $340,000, and her interest rate is 3.5%. Devin closed on this property duplex in East Orange, New Jersey. In the midst of COVID, you can see him masked up at the closing. So COVID or no COVID, we're still closing on deals, y'all. Malika did a single family foreclosure rehab in Baton Rouge, and she closed on this deal on June 15th. This is Alan. He closed on this triplex in Baltimore, Maryland. And here's what he said. Hey, Julian, I just want to thank you for the great service that you provide. I've learned a great deal from your detailed instruction for the past 3 months during the pandemic. And I recently closed on a multifamily property in Baltimore, Maryland on 6/17/20. The property cash flows in an appreciating market with built-in equity as well. I would not have had the confidence to handle the deal like such a boss without the expert knowledge provided in your course. I felt like I had the answers to the test every step along the way. Thanks again, brother, for the gateway to freedom and generational wealth. I will certainly pay it forward. All right. Man, I got, the other thing about Alan, y'all, is that he actually proposed to his lady on the 3rd floor of that property right after he bought it on August 7th. And they just got married on August 17th this past weekend. So excited for him and starting a family like that. You see his priorities. He says key rings, engagement ring, then wedding ring. Everybody else want to do it differently. They want to waste money on engagement ring, wedding ring, and then try to get a key ring. Nope, you got to know the order operation, y'all, and hopefully you have a partner who's in alignment with you. Okay. Darren and Aisha, they closed on this triplex in Providence, Rhode Island. Y'all, I got more stories, y'all. I know we're getting late. This is Olivia and Tyler. They bought New Orleans. This duplex. I got stories, y'all, and I can give you more. There's even more right here that I took out. Okay, so everywhere across the country, this is working. Okay, so normally the multifamily master plan will cost $1,999, but tonight I'm going to show you how you can get access to it for free. I'm going to show you how you can get access to it for free. All right. I repeat, free. All right. Now, I know some of you like, all you have to do, what's the catch? Well, here's all you have to do. All you have to do is join the Multifamily Movement Mastermind, which is committed to creating freedom and generational wealth through real estate. I'm on a mission to help 300 people or families acquire a cash flow positive multifamily home within 6 years of being 6 months of being pre-qualified. within 6 months of being pre-qualified. Now, Julian, you just said it was free. Now I got to join this mastermind. What do you mean? Here's how it works, y'all. I'm not just here for the transfer of information. I'm here for your transformation. I've been teaching online for the past 10 years. And when people are left up to their own devices, only 7% of people complete online courses. So how this is structured is that when you join the mastermind is what you pay for. The mastermind provides you with accountability and the structure. And once you commit to the accountability and the structure, I will give you access to the information for free. It's just like a gym membership. Once you join in, you get access to all the equipment that is available to you. I will give you access to everything that I know about real estate once you commit to the structure and the accountability. I'm going to prove it to you. How many of you wanted to lose weight this year and have it? How many of you wanted to lose weight this year and have it? It had nothing to do with information. There's all kinds of free workouts and recipes all on the internet. Information was free. But what you didn't have was the accountability and the structure to make it happen. How many of you paid for an online course and didn't even log in? How many of you bought a book that you intended to read to change your life and you didn't even open it up? You just got a bookshelf of shelf help. Haven't even cracked it open. Okay? We're all guilty of it. So I don't sell information. Okay? You can go try to piece this information together on YouTube, on podcasts, blog posts. You can go try to piece it together on your own. What I've done is I provided the structure and the accountability to make sure that you implement the information, because the only way that transformation will occur is if you actually implement the information. And so that's what I'm committed to. And this is why I have so many results. This is why I have so many success stories, because it's not just about the information. All right. So is this making sense? Is everybody clear? Is everybody clear on this? Please type clear. Okay. Once you commit to the accountability and the structure, I will give you access to all the information that I know about multifamily real estate. That is what I mean by it is free. So this is a movement in real life. This is 100 of us in New Orleans this past MLK weekend. That's me right there. And that's my daughter who I was telling you about right there on her scooter. Okay. So this is a movement in real life. I hope to slap hands with you, hug you all, meet you all in person once this COVID thing slows down. All right. So first is the Multifamily Masterplan course. That's worth $1,999. This is not just a course though. Only 20% of this program is actually on the computer. Only 20% of this program is on the computer. All right. Yes, there's more mindset work that I have to do with you. We did a lot of mindset work tonight, okay? But what does it say? Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. So we have more mentality stuff to do before you actually go take action. But once that is set in place, then 40% of this program is actually on the phone, okay? You talking to lenders, you talking to contractors, you talking to agents, building your real estate Rolodex. And then the other 40% is in your shoes and in your cars, actually going and visiting new neighborhoods and properties. Real estate is a contact sport. You have to be in contact with people and with properties, okay? That's how we succeed and how we win. So how this program is structured is every week you will have a new challenge, meaning that you literally have to get up out of your seat, okay, and go do something. This is not Netflix and chill and just hope that a real estate deal falls in your lap. That is not how this works. So every week you will have a challenge. We start with the financial house cleaning challenge, the lender shopping challenge, the peer approval challenge, the real estate agent challenge, the neighborhood knowledge challenge #1, the deal a day challenge #1. Then we go into your real estate team building challenge. Then you do the new neighborhood challenge and the deal a day challenge over and over and over until you close on your property. It becomes a habit. It becomes part of your life. This is how we get to deals. All right. Now, let me just show you really quickly the breadth of the course. This is the back end. And you can see how in-depth this program is. And our #1 motto in the program is do not skip steps. Do not skip steps, okay? So every module, every week you'll get a new module. It'll start with your mindset, right? We renew the mind and then we go take action. Mindset, movement, mindset, movement, mindset, movement, mindset, movement. This is how the program is structured. This is how I've studied how to get people to move, right? I've been teaching for 10 years. This is what works. Mindset, movement, not just a whole bunch of mindset stuff and then hoping that people move, okay? So how do I hold you accountable? Every week we have our weekly deal room calls on Sunday. And on Sunday, when you come to that weekly deal room call, you have to report to me what you accomplished in the past week that has moved you forward towards accomplishing your dream of buying multifamily real estate. Then after that, we have our hot seats, okay? In our hot seats, you can sign up to be in the hot seat and I will coach you on the call in the context of community. So this program does not have one-on-one coaching, okay? I have too many people to free. Imagine if Harriet Tubman only freed one person at a time, she would only free 19 people because that's how many trips she made. She had to free groups of people at a time. right? So there's no one-on-one coaching in this program. However, you can get in the hot seat and I will coach you on that call in the context of community. Is that clear, everybody? Please type clear if that makes sense. So that coaching is invaluable. Not only will I be coaching you, but I'll be coaching other people through their challenges, and their challenges are likely going to become your challenges, or they won't be your challenges because you'll see how I coach them through it. Okay. You'll also get the purchase of past deal analyzer. This is absolutely priceless. This is the financial model that I built out over the past 6 years. And when you use the purchase of past deal analyzer, you will never make mistakes on a real estate deal. It's almost impossible. Okay. It tells you whether to purchase or pass. Okay. So that's priceless. And then you get a ticket to our wealth and real estate weekend, which was going to become our generational wealth conference on MLK weekend. That ticket is worth $599. On day one, we focus all on wealth building, all of my wealth building strategies beyond real estate. And then on day two, we do all real estate. Last year, this was us going into some of the properties that I was developing at that time. This is a fiveplex that I have here in New Orleans, and we went all through it. I showed people the numbers, everything. Okay. So you get access to all of that. So when you put all that together, that is the Multifamily Masterplan lifetime access for $1,999, the weekly deal room calls and coaching for $2,399, purchase a past deal analyzer, which is priceless, and the live 2-day event at $599. Together, everything that I'm offering you is $4,999. That's what it's worth, but that's not what you will pay tonight. So let me just ask you this. Would it be worth $4,997 one time to eliminate your monthly rent expense or single family home mortgage forever? Please let me know in chat. One time. Okay. All right. Cool. Would it be worth $4,997 if all it did was help you acquire one cash flow positive multifamily home within the next year? Let's say it didn't take you 3 months. Let's say it took you 12 months. Would it still be worth it? Would it be worth $4,997 if the only thing you learned was how to buy right so that you never ended up underwater on a real estate deal thanks to the purchase of past deal analyzer? Okay. So you know what the value is, and I'm going to share with you your options to join. Your first option number one, is going to feel free, but it's going to cost you the most. And that is you do nothing. That is you continuing to go down the path that you're on, jumping on webinars, looking at blog posts, watching YouTube videos, trying to piece it together. And while you do that, rents continue to rise, which makes it harder for you to save, and the prices continue to rise, which make it hard for you to buy. Okay. That is option number one. Again, it's going to feel free, but it's actually going to cost you the most. Now, earlier, when I asked you all, would you give up or go get the money? You all, had your Twitter fingers on, and he's like, me, Julian, I'm about that life by any means necessary. I go do what I got to do. I go get that $10,500. You was talking all hard when it was a hypothetical situation. All of y'all like, I would go get that money. Okay. Now it's a real life situation, and you are at a fork in the road between continuing on the path that you've been on, right, which may not be working for you, and actually paving a new road to a new financial future for you and your last name, right? So for those of you who are ready, you can join the multifamily movement at multifamilymovement.com for $14.97, a one-time payment of $14.97 for lifetime access to the program. When you look at $14.97, that is equivalent to 1 to 2 months of rent or mortgage expense. You all shared with me your rent and mortgages earlier. Literally, all I'm asking for is equivalent of 1 to 2 months of rent and mortgage expense to put you in position to never have to pay rent or mortgage again. All I'm asking you is for 1 to 2 months of rent or mortgage expense to put you in position to never have to pay rent or mortgage again. So that is multifamilymovement.com. Can somebody click over there and let me know? I should be charging more for this, and eventually I will be charging more for this. But I want to make this accessible. Now, has anybody heard of Fortune Builders? Has anybody heard of Fortune Builders? How much does Fortune Builders charge for this information, y'all? How much does Fortune Builders charge? $25,000 to $30,000 for this same information. I went to their hotel meeting here in New Orleans, okay? And 70% people of color. They're literally stealing folks' down payment. They're literally stealing folks' down payment. That's what really encouraged me to come teach this and make sure that it was affordable for our people so that they can get this knowledge and information. I want you to have your down payment. I don't need your down payment. I'm doing perfectly fine, y'all. I don't need your down payment. They are literally stealing people's down payment, giving them information, taking their money, and just leaving them out to dry. Okay. So what I'm offering you is a fraction of what they charge for the same exact information. All right. So this is Brendan. He said, Julian, thanks, bro. I was apprehensive at first to take your class due to your price point. I thought I could have learned from YouTube University. Laugh out loud. In retrospect, you dropped too many jewels for me to count. One example saved me $1,200 by making the lenders compete. It was money well spent. For any new people reading this, Julian is a truth good people and has wealth of knowledge. Appreciate all that you do, good brother, and profound impact that you make on so many. Now, Brandon saved $1,200 right out the gates. And then his FHA appraisal came in $14,000 above his offer. So he's literally about to step into $14,000 in equity, which is 10 times what he paid for the program right off the bat because of what I've taught him. Okay. Now, how many of you need a payment plan? How many of you do not have 1497 right now? Okay. I know money is funny with Corona. Some people making it work. All right. So look, I want to still make this accessible to those who don't have 1497. If you don't have 1497, that's a red flag, first and foremost. That means something's broken in your financial system. It doesn't mean you're broke, okay? Never say I am broke, okay? That is not your identity. But something in your financial system is broken if you don't have 1497 to invest in yourself. So we need to fix that, okay? And one thing that could fix that is multifamily real estate. So option number 3 is a 6-month payment plan of $349 per month for the next 6 months. That's it. It's not a subscription plan that goes on forever and you forget about it and it keeps charging you. Nope, I don't want that. Okay. It's $349 per month for just 6 months. Now, when you add all that up, that's $2,094. So you save when you commit all at once. When you pay $1,497, you save $597. Okay. You save $597 and you also get access to everything immediately. When you're on the payment plan, your modules will be dripped to you as your payments come in. You'll get the first 3 modules, and then after that, your modules will be dripped to you as your payments come in. Okay. So I wanted to make this low enough that it was actually accessible for folks, but I also had to make the price high enough to make sure that people who are not serious can't get in. I can't deal with people who are not serious about making this happen, who are personal self-help junkies, personal development junkies. No, that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for wealth builders. Okay. We're looking for wealth builders. All right. So again, that's $349 per month for just 6 months only. After that, you have lifetime access to the program. Now, for those who need the payment plan, I got something sweet for you. I don't want the $597. I'd rather you have the $597 so that you could use that for your property inspection or for your appraisal. So here's what I'm going to do. If you need to start on the payment plan, what you'll do is I'm going to give you 60 days to pay off the balance between $1,497 and what you've paid. You'll have 60 days. And if you pay off the balance within 60 days, you will still save the $597. So what that looks like is you go to multifamilymovement.com. Okay. You'll start on the $349 a month plan. Okay. If before day 30, when your next payment comes out, you pay $1,148, you will save $597. Or if it takes you 2 months, you do $349 today, $349 a month from now, and then $799 before the 60th day, you will still save the $597. I don't want the $597. I don't want your down payment. Okay. But I know money is funny. I know Corona is throwing things off. Some of you get in lump sum. Some of you just turn in your taxes, etc. So I'm making this option available so that you can come in, get in right now, okay, lock in this price and still save once you get a lump sum in. Is that fair? Is that fair? All right, cool. So who should join? You should join this movement if you are a renter who has paid over $50,000 in rent living on your own. You should join this program if you're a single family buyer who wants to become a real estate investor. You should join this program if you're willing to make the sacrifices today for success in the future. Please do not join if you're looking to get rich quick and you need money yesterday. This program is not for you. I'm sorry. Please do not join if you're looking for a get rich quick scheme. And do not join if you're unwilling to change what you're doing now to save money and search for real estate deals. Okay? And also do not join if you are unemployed and you are liking unemployment. That is the wrong mindset. If you are unemployed and you are liking unemployment and you're thinking about just riding this thing out, I cannot get you finance if you are unemployed and perpetually. If you're unemployed and you are seeking employment, then we can get you finance once you get employed. But if you are liking this unemployment thing, you're like, oh, I'm just gonna ride this out. I want to stay in poverty consciousness, then I cannot help you. Okay. So that's who should join. Now I do have some bonuses, and then I'm going to jump into Q&A. Okay. So for those of you with credit issues, I have licensed Tanya Rapley's credit etiquette course to help you boost your credit score by 50 to 150 points. I licensed it from her. I literally pay her for you to have access to this program. Okay. Some of you feel like your credit score is low, then you can go through Tanya Rapley's credit etiquette course and actually boost your score. Okay. Then for those of you who have single families or who have already bought multifamily properties but don't have 10 properties like me, I have a module for you called the Fuel It module, where I'll show you exactly how I scaled from each property, how I use property 1, 2, and 3 to buy 4, 5, and 6, and how I use 4, 5, and 6 to buy 7, 8, and 9. I show you exactly how I did that, how I bought more property, how I kept my DTI low, my debt to income ratio low with every single property that I bought. Then you're also going to get REI tax secrets, which is how to reduce your taxes. This is not tax evasion, it is tax avoidance by leveraging law. I showed you earlier how that one property is going to save me $278,000 in taxes. Over $250,000 saved in taxes. You do not need an LLC, but you do need to set up your accounting in the right way to make sure that you're able to leverage the law. Okay. Then you're going to get Overnight Success, which is my Airbnb course. This is going to show you how to set up your Airbnb business quickly for those, especially for those of you in expensive markets, and actually be able to command 3 times what you might be able to get for rent. Okay. And then you're also going to get the purchase or pass deal analyzer. I've actually turned it into a software, y'all. I've spent 5 figures to develop it into a software where you can analyze all of your deals in one place. What's also powerful about the software is that everybody in the community uses it, and we share deals with one another. This is Camille. She said, shout out to Daffy for sending me a sweet deal in our market this morning and helping me run the numbers on it. There's truly strength in numbers and community. Stay blessed, everyone. We literally share deals through this online technology. Nobody else has access to it, only my students. Okay. So when you put all those things together, that is a total of $7,586. Okay. But again, you can join for $14.97 one pay or $349 a month for just 6 months. Now I have a 2-year coaching till you close guarantee. That means that you will get 2 years of coaching and support from me to get to the closing room. Okay. 2 years of support. I asked myself, what was the worst condition that somebody could come to me in and I could still help them get to the closing room? And that was actually bankruptcy. Okay. So if you come to me with a worst bankruptcy, we can still get you there over a 2-year period, depending on when your bankruptcy was. So that means that you will get access to the weekly deal room calls for up to 2 years. It should not take you 2 years to close. If with the exception of bankruptcy, it should not take anyone 2 years to close. Okay. Now, with that level of support, I want to be very transparent. There are no refunds. There are no refunds. There are no refunds for this program. We know that the system works. Okay. What we don't know is how you work. You are the X factor. I can't control that. I can create the perfect system, but if you don't show up, then there's nothing I can do. Okay. So this is how the program works. And that is, if you have bankruptcy, we have a specific module for you to guide you through that process. All right. So here's the proven game plan. Okay. You say you don't know where to start. I've given you the multifamily master plan, which is an A to Z blueprint. Do not skip steps. Every part of the program is critical. You feel alone on this journey, come be a part of our community, join our weekly deal room call, join our active Facebook groups. I'm going to answer questions in just a second, y'all. Okay. And then you don't know how to do the math. You don't have to be good at math in high school. You need to know math for millionaires. And all of those equations have been baked in to the actual purchase or pass deal analyzer. So all you have to do is know how to find the 23 numbers. Okay. I need help with with money beyond real estate. That's what the Wealth and Real Estate Weekend is for, to teach you my wealth building strategies, how I automate my wealth beyond just real estate. You've already bought a single family home. I'm going to show you how to reverse yourself out of that situation, the 6 ways to reverse yourself out, the 5 ways to use FHA twice, and how to build up your portfolio with the Fuel It module. Do I need an LLC? No, you do not need an LLC. That just creates more confusion, okay, and more complexity. But you do need to know how to set up your accounting right so that you can leverage all the tax laws. The prices are too high where you're at. Well, I'll show you how to use Airbnb to get 3 times rent. That will make your deals more profitable. And you are struggling with credit, your credit score is low. That's why I got access to Tanya Rapley's credit etiquette course, so to help you boost your credit score. Okay. So again, all of that together would be worth $7,586. You can join for $14.97 one pay, right? Or $349 per month for just 6 months. And I got one last thing for you all. You all get a free buddy pass. You all get a free buddy pass. You get to bring in a best friend, your spouse or your homie. You get to bring in blood, siblings or parents or kids, or you get to bring in a business partner to the program for free. Why? Because I know that you will be more successful when you have somebody who is near you on the ground saying, let's do module 3 tonight. Let's go look at these 5 properties this weekend. I know that you'll be more successful. I've studied what causes transformation, and it's having accountability, local accountability, in addition to the structure that I provide. And so I am encouraging you to bring in somebody to this program with you, especially if you have a significant other. You need to be on one accord. You need to be on one accord. If you want to go this way and build wealth and they just want to spend money, that's going to be a tough relationship. Okay. And so I want you to go through this process together. This is Velveeta and Velvet. They are twin sisters in Los Angeles. They're going through this process together. This is Victor and Michelle Dorner. They're going through this process together as husband and wife. And so I really encourage you to bring a buddy into the program with you. If you join tonight, you get an extra ticket to the Wealth and Real Estate Weekend. You get an extra ticket to the Wealth and Real Estate Weekend for your buddy. That is a fast action bonus for those who take action. For those of you who are not ready tonight, you have until Friday at midnight to join. You have till Friday at midnight Eastern Standard Time to join. But for those of you who take action tonight, you get an extra bonus ticket worth $599 to come to the Wealth and Real Estate Weekend for your buddy. All right. So again, here's everything that you get. You can start for $14.97. I want you to know that you are literally just one deal away. You are literally just one deal away. This was my first deal in Brooklyn. I had no clue that it would lead to where it is now. And if I knew what I knew now, my portfolio will probably be double the size. Okay. So I'm trying to share with you everything that I know up front so that you can grow your portfolio faster than I was able to. Okay. And 6 years was pretty aggressive. I've done well for 6 years. But I believe that knowing what I know now, I would have been able to do it even faster. This is what it looks like building wealth. Okay. You get that first property, and that leads to the second and the third and the fourth. This is literally how my wealth has grown. This is how I've gotten to a $4.1 million portfolio. Okay. And so it starts with that first property, and that's what the focus of this program is. So when you start, here's what will happen. You'll get onboarded. You'll get your deal analyzer. You'll start the online course. You'll go through the orientation. Weekly, we'll have our weekly deal room call on Sunday. Welcome, Zach, to the program. Excited to have you. If you've joined, please let me know in chat. All right. And then you'll start your first challenge next Monday. For those of you who are away from the screen because you are at multifamilymovement.com, I want you to know that your temporary password is freedom, all lowercase. Your temporary password is the word freedom, all lowercase. Okay. Okay. So again, you have till Friday at midnight to join. Right now it's $349 per month for 6 months or $14.97 one pay. After that, Friday at midnight, you will see the price jump to $3,997. You all told me it was worth $4,997. So that will be the price as of Friday. For those of you who are here right now, you will all get the beginner's guide to multifamily real estate investing. It will be sent to you via email tomorrow. So keep an eye out on your email tomorrow. And with that, I want to say thank you so much for being here. I'm going to take questions for the next 20 minutes. And yeah, I'm just really excited to have you. So thank you so much for those of you who stuck it out. I can tell if you're still here that you're serious, that you really want this. A lot of people dropped off. A lot of people were like, oh, I can't do this. If you can't sit on a 2-hour webinar where I'm giving you life game, then it's going to be hard for you to win in multifamily real estate. So for you being here after 2 hours of going in, that says a lot about you. And it's your type of people that I want to work with. So with that, we're going to take questions and I want you to use the Q&A function. Okay, so don't post your questions in chat. I know a lot of you are posting questions in chat as I was teaching. I have no clue what those questions are now. Okay, so I need you to go find that question, copy it, and we're going to use the Q&A function. And I'm going to knock out as many questions as I possibly can in the amount of time that we have left. All right. Cool. All right. So first question from Samuel. When does this offer expire? It expires Friday, okay, at midnight Eastern Standard Time. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're not on Eastern Standard Time, make sure you set your alarm an hour before to make sure that you don't miss out on that deadline, because the page will automatically go to $3,997 if you try to go at that time. So go ahead to multifamilymovement.com and open up the page so you have it and you can see that timer. Okay. Will you send out a replay? Yes, I will send out a replay for those of you who are going to bring in a buddy and you need to show them, or you have a significant other. I will send out a replay for you to share. Okay, so that'll come out tomorrow. Okay, so let me get this downloaded and uploaded up to YouTube, and I'll send that out tomorrow. Okay. How much money do I need to get started in real estate? So that all depends on your market. Okay, that all depends on your market. You're going to need more money in New York than you do in Boise, Idaho. Okay, but NACA is 0% down and FHA is 3.5% down. So again, it all depends on your market. If you can get financed through NACA, you can step into real estate with no money down. Okay, but when you go in with no money down, you'll have no equity. Okay, so just know how to play the game. All right. What if I'm unemployed? If you're unemployed, you cannot get financed. If you are unemployed, you cannot get financed, right? But if you are seeking employment, you'll need 6 months of employment before we can get you financed. So you can come in right now and still learn the game, okay? So that once you get employed and reach that 6 month mark, then we can just start making offers rather than you getting finance and then starting to learn the game. So use this time of unemployment to look for jobs, because I need you to get employed and to learn this game as well. All right. Julian, I'm self-employed and I get paid in cash. What should I do and how can I get finance? So there's a couple strategies for you. For those of you who are self-employed, the first thing is I need you to start paying yourself out of your business. Set up an automatic deposit from your business to your personal account to just show that you can support yourself as a W-2 employee. Do that bi-weekly. So maybe you need to start off at $1,000 every 2 weeks, showing that you have proof of income as a W-2 employee in your business. You don't need to go set up entire payroll, but that's a really important step. Okay. The other thing is that there are some non-qualified mortgage programs. If your business is making enough, there are some non-QM mortgages that you can get eligible for, but the interest rates are a lot higher than FHA and NACA. So if you're self-employed, remember I was self-employed when I got into the game. Okay, so it is possible, and it all depends on how much income you're making and how consistent that income is. All right. All right, Julian, I bought a single family home about a year ago. And I know FHA can only, I thought FHA could only be used once. How can I use it again? So in the program, I give you the 5 ways to use FHA twice. Okay. Now, if you bought a single family home, again, you're not stuck. Okay. There's 6 strategies that we can use. 2 of them require you to sell. If you're not attached to the home and you realize that you messed up and you want to start over, the easiest thing is usually to sell. Okay. Now, if you have been in that single family home for some time, and for those of you who have been in there for some time and have equity, we can leverage that equity to buy your next property. But we may have to buy your next property in a smaller, secondary, less expensive market. Okay. Remember, I bought in New Orleans because I realized that New York was going to be too expensive to buy another property. New York, the properties were $1 million, 25% down on $1 million, $250,000. So instead, I came to New Orleans where I could get a duplex for $220,000 or about $50,000 down, right? So when you come in, you're the type of person where you come in the hot seat. I will coach you to help you identify what is going to be the best road for you to take, and if you fit in one of the 5 exemptions to use FHA twice. Should I get pre-approved now or wait till I'm ready to buy? If you're you can get up to 5 lenders to pull your credit in a 30-day period without it negatively affecting your credit score. Some people are just so particular about their credit score. They don't want it to get messed up. You can get 5 lenders to pull your credit without it messing up your credit score or any negative impact. Okay. So I encourage everybody who's here to go get pre-approved. I encourage you to go get pre-approved just to see how much your lender would actually approve you for. Some of you have no clue. Okay. In chat, type pre-approved or type no if you haven't been pre-approved. Type pre-approved or no, I have not been pre-approved. So basically, if you have not been pre-approved, then basically you've been sitting on the sidelines while other people are playing, having no clue that you were eligible to play this whole entire time. You took yourself out the game. There's no white man that took you out of the game. It was no sexism. There's no racism that took you out the game. You literally took yourself out the game by not going and getting pre-approved. In fact, whether you become my student or not, everybody's homework by Friday is to go get pre-approved. That's everybody's homework. You literally just go to whatever bank your checking or savings account is at and say, where's the mortgage office? And you go submit certain documents to them, like your tax return, like your pay stub, like your proof of rent payments, etc., your ID, etc., and they will pre-approve you. And the question is, will they approve you for enough to buy in your market? That's the question. But all we want to do is get a pre-approval. Some of you are going to be surprised by that number. One of my students, before he came to me, he initially he thought he would only get pre-approved for $350,000, which was not enough to buy in his market. He ended up actually going and doing it, got approved for $500,000. Remember, I told you that multifamily real estate is the most leveraged asset that the average American can buy. Okay. So everybody's homework is to go get pre-approved by Friday, whether you become my student or not. Okay. Once you get pre-approved, we can see where the holes are in your application, if it's not enough, and then we can work on them. Okay. Julian, what if I don't want to live in the property for a year? You said FHA has a 1-year living requirement. If you don't want to live in the property for a year, when you sign for FHA loan, you sign documents saying that you will. Okay. So I don't teach breaking the law. I don't teach breaking any contractual relationship. So if you have to take an L on that first year by residing there, but the next 29 years are going to be amazing, then would you, in chat, let me know, would you all take an L for 1 year if you knew the next 29 were going to be W's? Would you all take an L for a year if you knew the next 29 were going to be a W? These are the sacrifices. These are the sacrifices that we have to make. Look, y'all, I drove a 2000 Honda Accord till 2018. I drove a 2000 Honda Accord till 2018. I was willing to sacrifice, y'all. Some of y'all had nicer cars than me. Most of y'all had nicer cars than me. I didn't buy a new car until I had 10 multifamily doors. This is just about priorities, y'all. It's not about price, it's about priorities. Some of you want to live for the now, you on that YOLO plan, and you can do that and you'll have nothing to hand down. If you don't have kids, then go YOLO. If you don't have kids and you don't have anybody that's coming after you, you the end of your last name, then go ahead and ride this thing out. You don't need to create generational wealth if you ain't got nobody following behind you. Okay. But if you got a family that you're trying to put on, then you got to make some changes and make some sacrifices. All right. All right, cool. My credit score is 550. How can I get finance? So first and foremost, we're gonna go through NACA. NACA doesn't have credit score consideration, right? And I encourage you to jump into Tanya Rapley's credit etiquette course, which you'll get when you join, and see if you can get that up to 650, 700. FHA right now is 660. Okay, so we actually need you to get up to 660 in order to get financed to FHA, but we can also go the NACA route, all right? But there's some behaviors, whether we get that number up or not, there's some behaviors that got you in that situation, and we need to address the mentality that caused those behaviors, right? To move you out of poverty consciousness into wealth consciousness. And in the program, in orientation, I give you my cash flow framework, which shows you how I structure my accounts and how my money flows to make sure that I'm actually moving towards building wealth. All right. Cool. Rosalind, is it a good idea to buy commercial before residential? It's quadruplex with 2 retails below. Rosalind, it's going to be more difficult to buy commercial. It's a different type of loan product, especially with this being 6 units. You can get a mixed use property using FHA, but given that you said it's 4 units above and 2 below, that's going to be a commercial property because that's 6 units, and it will not qualify. So you can go try to get finance. It's typically going to be a 20-year mortgage instead of a 30-year. It's also going to be an adjustable rate mortgage as opposed to a fixed rate mortgage. So Rosalind, go check that out by talking to a lender. And it may be a different lender than your bank because traditional banks don't necessarily, oftentimes don't do commercial loans. So you'll probably have to find a local lender. I see questions still coming up in chat. Please copy them and put them in Q&A. Please put them in Q&A. I'm answering questions in order there. Right now, we have over 135 questions, y'all. So I'm answering as many as I can. Do we need good credit? I answered that already. Did you carry any debt? Marquita, I don't know what you mean by did I carry any debt? I had student loans just like everybody else. Keisha, I live in California. I have a home I'm considering selling, so I moved back to Maryland for personal reason. Now I have to buy a home here. I want to make the best move on the both coasts. The realtor in Cali says he can sell my house in 2 weeks due to the high demand for homes. What should I do? I see homes in Baltimore, but they have it shut down in certain areas. I would like your advice. So Keisha, I showed you Alan. He closed on that triplex in Baltimore recently. That was June 17th. So I know that there's a market. I'll introduce you to him when you join. Yeah, if you have equity in that California property, get out of there, sell that thing, and take that capital and use it as your down payment for a multifamily in Maryland. All right. Mimi Matthews, that only works if you maintain tenants, right? Mimi, I'm not sure what the full question is. It's a partial question, so please feel free to re-ask. Des, I take it you use property management company. Around how many doors do you need roughly to be able to afford? So Desmond, great question. Property management is typically 8 to 10% of rents. So if your rents are $4,000 for a property, a property manager might take anywhere from $360 per month to $400 per month. I use property management in Oakland and in Brooklyn, okay, because I'm not there. In New Orleans, I actually don't need to use property management. Why? Because I've screened my tenants in an amazing way. I have amazing tenants and I have amazing real estate Rolodex. So let's just say there's a link under the kitchen sink. I literally just text Joe and Danielle and say, Joe, can you come over to this address? Danielle, will you be home at 9 o'clock? Both say yes, and that's done. And then I cash app Joe when he's done. Like, so I don't need a property manager for that because my tenants are awesome and my real estate Rolodex is awesome. So therefore, I keep that money in my pocket. All right. Will the PowerPoint be available? I will, anonymous. I will send out a replay tomorrow. So look for that. Miko, I missed the down payment info. Miko, there's NACA.com, which is 0% down, and FHA, which is 3.5% down. All right. Amber, if you buy from wholesalers, they typically work with cash buyers. How would you make that work with NACA? Amber, a wholesale deal will not likely work with NACA. It has to be moving. It has to be moving ready. And like you said, wholesalers typically work with cash buyers. So that's not going to work. Okay. Unless the property is moving ready. Okay. Wholesalers are trying to get their cut. That's why they don't want a finance offer. But wholesalers can still point you to deals though. How can I finance a 60K multifamily while unemployed and have 25K doesn't payment? And I have 25K down payment. That's supposed to say down payment. Cherazadi, or Cherazade, sorry, I know I messed up your name. It's going to be very challenging to get finance when you're unemployed, whether you're going traditional. Most finance banks won't finance a loan under a certain amount, and so you have a smaller loan that you're looking for. And and a hard money lender probably won't do that deal with you because you're unemployed. So I would focus on getting employed, or find a partner to do this deal with. Are there any loan options that do not require 25% down if you already purchased a home? Tanya, there are not. There are not. There are not. Not that I know of. Okay. Whitney, why New Orleans easier to purchase? The cost basis in comparison to Brooklyn. Like New Orleans, New York felt like I was shopping at Louis Vuitton, and I don't even shop at Louis Vuitton. Versus New Orleans felt like I was shopping not only at Ross but at the clearance rack at Ross. So the cost basis. Oftentimes, when you are stepping into becoming an investor, you may have to find a smaller, secondary, less expensive market to invest in. Okay. You may want to live in the nice, expensive market, etc., that you're attached to, but you may invest elsewhere. Your money does not have to work in the same city as you do. Okay. Next question. Do I need an LLC? Des. Good question, Des. No, you do not need an LLC. Remember, NACA, VA, and FHA do not finance through an LLC. They will only finance a person. Okay, so that's first and foremost. The second thing is that I can go create an LLC in 10 minutes. I can go get an EIN number, okay, and I can go get incorporated in Delaware in 10 minutes. Des, would you finance me for $500,000, even with all my expertise? Would you finance me for $500,000 with an LLC that I just created 10 minutes ago? Anybody in chat, would y'all finance me $500,000 for a company I just created 10 minutes ago? No, right? That company needs proven cash flow. It needs a DUNS number, or which is equivalent to like its credit score, right? So you do not need an LLC. A lot of people think they want an LLC to protect themselves if something happens. You don't need to go through all that. You just get enough personal injury insurance in your homeowner's policy. I had somebody slip and fall on one of my properties and they got paid out from the insurance company. They should have. They hurt themselves, okay? And I paid for insurance. So I didn't have to deal with anything. So you just have enough personal liability in your homeowner's insurance policy. You don't need to go create this extra entity, which now you have to do an extra set of taxes. You have to pay annual fees. You just make it more complicated. All right. T. Kalsa said, paid in full. Happy to have you, T. Welcome to the family. All right. Keisha. I live in Cali and I have a home. I'm considering selling. I think I answered that. Yeah, I already answered that one. All right. Let me go celebrate some folks real quick who joined. Oh, wow. Okay. This is amazing. All right. I'm going through. So welcome to Zach. Zach already mentioned that in chat. Welcome to Zach, paid in full. Welcome to Michelle. Michelle from Vermont. Welcome, Michelle. Happy to have you. Oswaldo from Philadelphia. What's going on, Oswaldo? Welcome to the family. Seeing here Janice from Dallas, Texas. Welcome, Janice, to the family. Next up is Jeff from Oakland, California. That's my town. We're gonna have to. It's expensive out in Oakland, Jeff. So we're gonna have to work on a strategy and find one of those markets outside, like Tracy or something like that. Okay. Keisha from another Texas, San Antonio. Welcome to the movement. Glad to have you. Cool. Just wanted to celebrate some of those folks. Great. Cool. So next question. Can I pay the full amount and start in the summer? Alonda, yes. Alonda, you can pay the full amount and start in the summer. You start on your own timeline. It's go at your own pace. So lock in the price, get in, and when you're ready to go hard, then let's go hard. So yeah, you can go ahead and work on what you need to work on right now and then start when you're ready, okay? I'm a veteran. How can I use VA? Yes, your VA loan qualifies for multifamily, y'all. The VA loan qualifies for multifamily. So go ahead and get in and let me show you how to find the right deal. So NACA and VA will get you financed, y'all. Okay. NACA and VA will get you financed. They do not teach you how to evaluate and find deals. Okay. So that's what I teach you. All right. Welcome to Alicia from New Orleans. What's up, Alicia? Alicia from New Orleans. So Alicia, because you're in New Orleans, you're going to get access to my entire real estate Rolodex. Everybody else, it's not possible for me to have a real estate Rolodex all over the country. But for those who are in New Orleans, I want the people from New Orleans to own New Orleans. And so you get access to my entire real estate Rolodex here, okay? Some people still asking questions in chat. Please put them in the Q&A function. There's over 170 questions now. I'm going through as many as I can. We're already at 9:30. I told you I'm gonna stop at 9:30. I'm hoping that a lot of these are duplicates, y'all. Does it matter if I have a real estate license? Tony, the only benefit to you having a real estate license is the fact that you can get access to the properties a lot quicker and you have access to the MLS. That's it. That's it. That's the only benefit. Okay. I mean, that's helpful. Like if you see a deal, you can go in and you can get access to the lockbox and go in before anyone else, and you see it pop up on the MLS. But that's the only benefit. And then you're going to save on closing costs, obviously, if you manage your own deal. Patrice, we have a house with 0% through Habitat. Should we sell it? Patrice, with 0%, I don't know if you're talking about 0% equity. If you have 0% equity and you're ready to start over, then whatever qualifies you to get that property with Habitat for 0% down, we need to make sure that you get, if we sell that, we need to make sure that we can get financed for the type of property that we're looking for. All right. Rome, self-employed, I already addressed that. Dylan was also self-employed question. So a lot of these are duplicates. So that's a good thing. How do we have to bring in a buddy? So your buddy, you'll email support@thefreedomschool.com. You'll email support@thefreedomschool.com, and you'll share your buddy's name, their email address, and their relationship to you, and they'll be added to the Facebook group, to the weekly emails, and then they will share a login with you to the online course platform. All right. Are there any additional upsells? Great question. There are no hidden fees in this program. There are no hidden fees in this program whatsoever. Okay. The only potential additional cost is buying a physical copy of the workbook. You get a downloadable, fillable PDF version of the workbook. You also get online worksheets in case you want to use those instead. But if you like paper and you like the book form, you can order a physical copy of the Multifamily Movement Real Estate Investor Workbook. You can order a physical copy, and it's only $10. Okay, that's for us to print it and to ship it. Okay, that's it. We're not making money off of it, but if you like physical copy, that's optional. Okay, but there are no hidden fees in this program. All right. Will I get the buddy pass even if I pay $349? Yes, you will, Marina. Frederick, do you utilize hard money loans? No, I have not had to use a hard money loan. Okay, hard money loans are typically for BRRRR properties. I've been doing fine finding properties that are move-in ready. Sharice, there won't be another webinar before Friday, but you can show, I'll send out the replay tomorrow. Melissa, do you have any experience buying 25 unit or higher? No, I do not, sister. When I only teach what I know. I only teach what I know, okay? Alicia, question about LLC, I already answered that. How long is this program? A. Anderson, the program is designed for 12 weeks, but you go at your own pace. Some people are going to be on the 24-week plan. Some people are going to be on the 48-week plan. It's all up to you. Okay. Terrence, what if I cannot make the calls every other week? Terrence, all the weekly calls are recorded, and I encourage you to plug it in on your commute on the next morning. Okay. Troy, what are the 23 numbers? All of those are discussed. That's an entire module in the course, Troy. I can't break them all down for you here. That is an entire module to teach you how to evaluate deals in the course. Okay. Destiny, is there a recording? Yes. Do you have to attend the New Orleans event? No, you do not have. The New Orleans event is optional, and it'll be live streamed. Okay, it'll be live streamed. I'm retired. How can I get started with this? If you're retired, the question is how much are you getting paid in retirement? Okay, retirement doesn't mean poor, right? Some people will have $8,000 a month coming in retirement, and that's still enough to buy multifamily in their market. So Kalani, I have no clue what your financial situation looks like or what market you're in. So I can't determine if I can help you, right? What's the difference between owning and controlling? So owning means that you've paid off the mortgage and nobody has a first lien position on your property. It is all yours. Controlling means that the bank still owns the property and I have full use of it. So I get to benefit from the rents that come in. I get the benefit from the appreciation. I get the benefit from the tax saving. I get the benefit from the principal pay down. Okay. So I control the property until I own it. All right. Great question. Latanya, do you manage your properties? Or do you talked about that already? And I'm in New Jersey. How hard is it to make deals? So for those of you in expensive markets, it's going to happen via research and relationships. Okay. It's literally going to be like, you're telling your friends that you're looking to buy multifamily real estate, and then the matriarch of their family dies, and the house is being split amongst 5 people. They want to cash out, and your friend, who is one of the siblings' daughters, says, my family's selling their home, and you found the off-market deal. Literally in the Northeast, that's how deals are going to be found. All right. It's not going to be Trulia or Zillow. Okay. I want to welcome Ashley P, to the program from Cedar Hill, Texas. Welcome, Ashley. Full pay. Brandon Stinson from McKinney, Texas. Welcome, Texas in the building. All right, I want to welcome, I think, oh yeah, it's the person who asked the question, I'm gonna get your name, Tajinder from Rochester, Minnesota. Welcome, fully paid, all in. That's what I'm talking about. Cool. Let me keep going on these questions. I know it's getting late, y'all. Is a loan to purchase property included in the course? No, I'm not a lender. I am not a lender, but I give you access to some national mortgage brokers, but I'm not a lender. Monica, we are literally shopping for single family home every weekend with Trulia and Zillow. Laugh aloud. Should we not move to the suburbs and rough it for a while with the multifamily in the city? Monica, yes, that is what I've been trying to tell you on this entire webinar. Okay, that is the name of the game. Let's go get that multifamily, then go and live there for a year, then go get your single family. Cheryl, what if I'm a single family owner but still want to buy multifamily without giving up a single family? Again, Cheryl, I told you 6 ways to reverse yourself out of that situation. Only 2 of them require you to sell, and then 5 ways to use FHA twice. Okay, retirees, I answered that question. If you don't need to use LLC, how do you achieve asset protection and avoid exposure or liability? Again, Rhonda, you just get the proper homeowner's insurance amounts and personal injury or liability to protect your tenants. Okay. Any average lawyer will pierce through, it's called piercing through the corporate veil. If it's a single member LLC, which is you, any average attorney will be able to pierce through your corporate veil. Okay. So you think you're protected and you're not. You're just spending extra money to uphold this LLC and pay additional taxes. When are the trip dates for the conference, the MLK weekend of every year? What if I'm self-employed? I told Imani I answered that question. Where's the lowest costing real estate? I don't know. A place where there's a place somewhere in the middle of the country, probably. Can I use NACA after FHA? No, you cannot. You can use, can you use NACA after? No, NACA is a first time buyer program, okay? So you cannot use NACA after FHA, but you could use FHA after NACA. You could use FHA after NACA if you fit one of the 5 exemptions, but you cannot use NACA after FHA. What is the difference between CapEx and repair reserve? CapEx, great question. CapEx is things for major fixes like foundation, roof, plumbing, electrical, HVAC. Repair reserve is for sink leaks, hole in the wall, lost keys, light fixture, etc. All right. I want to welcome Marina from Baxley, Georgia. Welcome, Marina. Is there income qualification for NACA? Yes. Anytime you're going to get financed for hundreds of thousands of dollars, it's going to require income, proof of income. There's no programs for unemployed folks, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm a teacher and my school just closed. However, I do have good credit in my investment that bring in monthly income. Should I still join at this time? Danique, you can come join. I don't expect somebody with your credentials to be unemployed forever. So come get this game while you have time on your hands, and while you're also working on getting employed. Okay. Do you have email even though we signed it? Do you have our email even though? Yes, I have all your email addresses. Okay. Uh, Anonymous, long distance real estate investing is my concern since we cannot travel out of state while working. Can this work for us? Y'all, I travel all the time. The country is not shut down anymore, y'all. The country is not shut down anymore, right? I've been on some full flights. John, how hard is it to invest in a property in another state while paying for rent in your current state? So John, what we do is we invest in a property in another state, we take the cash flow from that property, and then we put it back to pay rent in our where we're currently at. So this is a way that you can get to rent freedom, okay? Rent freedom by investing in another state where that you can afford and bringing that cash flow back to pay your rent. I still see questions. Cynthia, I still see you putting questions in the chat. Please copy them and put them in the Q&A. All right. Fred, my mother and auntie recently acquired a property which was left in a will. My aunt wants to sell her portion of the property. It is currently worth about 700K. What's the best route to buy her out? Fred, you only buy her out if the deal actually makes sense from a financial perspective. Okay. We don't, I don't keep properties for nostalgia purposes. Okay. At 700K, that property is going to have to meet the 1% rule. The 1% rule, meaning that it's going to have to be able to bring in $7,000 per month in rent in order for it to even make sense. So, yeah, you have to run the numbers to see if it makes a deal. Even though it's family, it may not be a good deal. Look, y'all, I'm at 208 questions. I'm answering as many as I can. A lot have been duplicates, so I'm pushing through. We're already at 9:42. Normally, I said I was going to get off at 9:30. So I'm stretching right now for you, okay? Because I want you to make informed decisions about real estate, and I want you to make informed decisions about this program. All right. So Akeisha, please don't take it personal. Mashuna, please don't take it personal. I'm I'm going through as many as I can. I'm taking them in order. All right. Please don't take it personal. Would you be interested in doing bigger deal with students that's pre-qualified for bigger deal? I am focused. My bigger deals are focused in Baton Rouge with the Buyback Baton Rouge Fund. Frederick, how accessible are you? I feel like you're a super busy guy and we have to communicate with the team. So Frederick, we have our weekly deal room calls, all right? And then I'm in the Facebook group 2 times a day answering questions. Does this plan work well in California? I just showed you that I bought a property in California. And so there's deals everywhere. Do they just may be harder to find in more expensive markets? That's all. Crystal, what if I plan to retire by the end of the year? Crystal, please buy this multifamily home before you retire. Please don't, it'll be 50 times as hard if you try to buy it after. Please buy this multifamily home before you retire. Please. Niana, I made mistakes with taking on 4 mortgages for rentals because they were unrented for several months, and now I've struggled to keep cash flowing. What should I do? Niana, looks like you might need to sell and get out of, just get clean. Sell and get clean. Does it matter how much money I make to get a NACA loan? You will need money. If I make 6 figures, will that exempt me? Oh, Charles, you're saying that your income is good. No, you're good to go, Charles. But you don't need NACA, Charles. If you're making 6 figures and that works in your market, you don't need NACA. You can just go conventional. Try going conventional because then there's no PMI. NACA doesn't have PMI either. Try going conventional, then NACA, then FHA. Charles. Alicia, I just submitted an application to refinance my single family. How will this affect me? So Alicia, basically you're communicating to the lenders that this is my primary residence. So your ability to use one of the 5 FHA exceptions, you're gonna have to wait it out a little bit, give it some time. But if you got some cash out of your refinance, then we can use that cash to go invest in a smaller, less expensive market. Azza, what if I'm working as a temp? I've been working as a temp for 6 years now. Azza, I think that you'll be able to show consistency. I'm not sure how the lender will view a temp agency, but if it's been consistent for 6 years, you might be good. Do you have to live in your first multifamily? What if it's out of state? You have to live in the first multifamily. You won't be able to buy out of state if you can't explain the narrative to the lender that you're going to live there. So yes, you have to fulfill the 1 year living requirement for FHA. NACA and VA expect you to live there for the life of the loan. Edward, can I use NACA if you're not a first time home buyer? No, you cannot. I have investments that bring in income monthly. Denique, we talked about that. Monica, do you ever use commercial financing? No, for the larger deals that we're doing in Baton Rouge, yes, but not for my personal portfolio, Monica. Mashuna, here you are. I purchased in 2010. I paid off about 40% of my mortgage. What does that mean? What does it mean to have a 1% APR? I'm not sure where you're getting that from, Mashuna. I don't know if 1% is you're saying, are you saying your mortgage is 1%? If that is the case, that's absolutely amazing. But otherwise, I don't know where APR comes in. That is amazing. That's basically free money if that's what your interest rate on your mortgage is. Can this program work in Phoenix? Diamond, yes. Maybe not in Phoenix. Yes, it works everywhere, y'all. But Mesa, Arizona, which is 15 minutes outside of Phoenix, is one of the top rental markets in the country. Um, Angela, I was approved recently for a single family home. Could I apply that approval to a multifamily property? So Angela, you're actually going to get approved for more when you go to a multifamily. Okay, here's why. When you buy a multifamily, there are literally hundreds of you still here. This is amazing. We're almost at 3 hours. Angela, when you go get financed for a single multifamily, what they'll do is they'll take 75% of the rents and they'll add that to your income. So listen, everybody, let's say Angela's income is only $40,000. She finds a multifamily real estate deal that has $4,000 a month in rent. The lender will take 75% of that, which is $3,000 per month or $36,000 a year, and add that $36,000 on top of Angela's $40,000 a month working income. And so now she's going to qualify based on $76,000 as opposed to $40,000. So Angela, you will actually get approved for more, okay, going for a multifamily than you did as a single family. Does that make sense, y'all? Does that make sense, everybody? The lender will apply 75% of rent to her income because the moment she acquires those keys, she is now going to be accepting that income stream. So this is why multifamily real estate is so powerful. Thoughts on a 15-year mortgage? Please do not do a 15-year mortgage. Okay, don't do a 15-year mortgage. Oh, but the interest rate is lower. No, but your monthly payment is going to be higher, right? And it's also going to hurt your cash flow. It's also going to hurt your cash flow. So I'd rather have that cash flow and be able to invest that cash flow than trying to get a lower interest rate and have a higher mortgage payment. Okay. I'd rather have a lower mortgage payment because it's stretched out over 30 years and be able to have the opportunity, an option to pay it off in 15 years if I wanted to, rather than being locked in at 15 years at a higher rate, at a higher amount, but a lower rate. Okay. Also, do you have emergency funds on the side before you started on your real estate journey? I had very little emergency funds. You do need some cash reserves when you're investing in multifamily real estate, but I had enough for the bank to approve me. So it all depends on the lender. Now, cool is typically, it all depends on the lender. It can be anywhere from 3 to 6 months of cash reserves to cover the mortgage. What if you don't close in 2 years? What is your policy? After 2 years, this program is about a year and a little over a year old. So after 2 years, you will there'll be an option to pay. There'll be an option to pay to stay in the weekly deal room calls. But I'm trying to get you closed before the 2 years is up. Okay. I don't want people just hanging out around. I mean, I'm actually going to, as I learn more, I'm going to share more. But this is not just a place where we hang out in the lobby. Okay, we're going to be in action. I'm trying to get you to close. All right. Deborah, bought a house in 2016. I'm in the process of refinancing now. I have $174,000 in equity. That's amazing. Not taking money down. Goal was to pay off early. Basically, no credit card debt, maybe 42,000. I want to buy multifamily in Cook County, one in Atlanta, Cobb, or Clayton. Will the financing be hard if I just bought a house and need a car really bad, trying to hold off on a car because of my debt to income? Deborah, I don't understand how your debt to income is bad with so much equity and 42,000. Oh, and no credit card debt and maybe $42,000 in savings. I don't know how your debt to income ratio would be bad, but I guess you just bought a house and you need a car. Deborah, I'm probably, if you need those things and they aren't want, then I would get some of that $174,000 equity and go get a car. Take some of that equity out and go get a car. Um, but I don't, Deborah, there's a lot of numbers here, so I'm not able to give you an informed decision. Um, but it looks like you got a lot of equity sitting in that house, and I would use that. Okay. Cheryl, I'm in COVID, unemployed, and 1 year from age 65. Can I pre-qualify my only child who will be buddy in the program? I want to build generational wealth for her. If your child has enough income to get qualified, then yes. If your child has enough income, if you're calling me your child, but they ain't really a child. If you 65, they ain't really a child. They working, right? So if they're making enough to buy, then yeah, you can push this plan through through your child. Cheryl says she's 34 and working. Yeah, definitely. Alexis, I'm excited about this movement, but nervous about being a landlord. What tips do you have about landlord-tenant relationship? Alexis, we are ethical investors. I teach ethical investing. I have a great relationship with my tenants. No negative relationships whatsoever. If you don't want anything to do with it, then you just pay a property manager that 8 to 10%, and your cash flow will be lower, but you won't have anything to deal with. So you won't have to be tenant facing whatsoever. I love actually going and talking to my tenants and getting to know them and things of that nature. But you can just pay the 8 to 10% fee if you don't want to have anything to do with it. What lender would you suggest? There's no national lender, Lorna, that I can suggest. All of my loans have come from local lenders. They've originated with local lenders, and then they might get sold to a national lender. But yeah, yo, it's still over 200 of us here. This is absolutely amazing. Wow. I'm gonna go till 10 and 10 my time, and we're gonna call it a night, y'all. What if credit score is sitting at 625? Do we still need to get pre-approved? Grady, no, we want to get that credit score up first. So use Tanya Rapley's credit etiquette course, or yeah, start there, or pay for credit repair if you need to. How do you manage your DTI to purchase the next property after the second and third? So great question, DeMarcus. When you buy right, your DTI improves. When you buy right, your DTI improves. So DTI is debt to income ratio. So your debt over your income. So if I buy a new property and the mortgage is 1,200, but the rents are 3,600, then that is 30%, 33%. Okay. If I'm adding 33% into a DTI that is already at 38%, that 33% is going to bring my DTI down. So when you buy right, DeMarcus, your DTI improves. DeMarcus, you hear that? When you buy right, your DTI gets stronger. It should not get worse. All right. So this is the power of this program and teaching you how to buy right. Deborah, Deborah, you got a lot of numbers. I won't be able to. I don't want to speak on partial information and try to give you a strategy. But in the weekly Durham hot seat, I would be happy to sit with you for longer, have back and forth with you, and be able to help you make an informed decision. If not, what is the best state to start in? Uh, so Sherry, where do I have people? Where to start? So I typically have people try to buy where you live first. Okay, if that's not possible, then try to buy where you're from. I was from Oakland. I was living in Brooklyn, so I bought in Brooklyn. Then buy where you're from. I live from Oakland, so I bought in Oakland. Then buy where you want to be a contribution. I wanted to be a contribution in New Orleans, so I bought here. And then if none of those work, then just buy wherever you're gonna make money. Okay, so that's typically how I think about it, Sherry. Alicia, are you and getting pre-approved from several lenders? Won't that lower your credit score? Remember, y'all, up to five lenders can pull your credit. Five lenders can pull your credit in 30 days and it not negatively affect your score. Okay. Jason, I own a property out of state. I manage the 10 complex unit. I live in California. My rent cheap because of that, and I have money. Can I still get FHA or NACA? Um, Jason, it's probably going to be FHA for you because the property's out of state. I think you'll be able to qualify for one of the FHA exemption, and you'll be able to use FHA. So that would be the strategy. But honestly, brother, if you can go to your owner and ask, "Hey, you want to come up off this tenplex?" I'd be happy to do owner's financing with you and take it off your hands. If you are ready to move on to the next phase of your life, that would be my first ask. I know it sounds bold. I don't know if that's ever crossed your mind, but that's what I would do. I'm in the middle of closing on the VA IRRRL loan. Wouldn't I have to wait at least 6 months for a new mortgage? Um, Frederick, I do not know what an IRRRL loan is. I guess that's a specific type of VA loan. And because VA is 0% down, it's not about how long you have to wait for the mortgage; it's how long you're going to be in position, right? Because now your debt to income ratio is going to go up with this new VA loan, and you might not fit the criteria for another VA loan. Okay, so it's not about a timing. Remember, I bought 7 properties in 2019. It's not about how long you have to wait. Okay, it's how long are in position um, based on what the banks consider is necessary for financing. Um, is 14.97 per person if I bring a buddy? No, 14.97 is for you both. Richardson, do I need a realtor if I can find my own deal? No, Richardson, we teach you how to find deals. Well, you have to be empowered, Richardson. We're not outsourcing or delegating this work. You are doing this work, okay? Then your agent or realtor executes on the deal. Um, Sherry, is the extra free ticket also extended until Friday or only tonight? That is for tonight, Sherry. What about purchasing a 7 unit, Latanya? Anything 5 and above is commercial, y'all. Patrice, how do you know how much equity you have in the home? Patrice, equity is the current value minus the remaining mortgage. It's the current value minus the remaining mortgage. Juanita, can I get the extra ticket if I join tomorrow or Thursday? No, the extra ticket is only for tonight, y'all. Whitney, how do I finance renovation costs if I buy fix me up or below market? Um, so to finance a fixer upper, you can do that through FHA 203K loan. Okay. Otherwise, we might have to go to a hard money lender. All right. But it's typically the best way is going to be a FHA 203K loan. They will help you acquire the property and have a budget for fixes. Joshua, I'm in New Orleans. You come here often. Joshua, I live in New Orleans. I work under commission and can't get approved. They want 2 years on the same job. I'm not there. Do I have options to still buy? Yes, CD, you're going to have to look at non-QM loans, non-qualified mortgages. They're going to have higher interest rate, but you can still get qualified as long as your commissions have been high enough consistently. Symbiote, I already own two family without any equity. How can I purchase a single family home? I already own a 2-family without any equity. How can I purchase a single family? Symbiote, we are gonna have to you just have to have your DTI has to be in alignment with what lenders are looking for, and you have to have the income to support it. Okay. Shirley, over age 70 on Social Security, lots of debt. Thanks for this. I messed up with another real estate group in Utah. Sorry to hear that, Shirley. How do you know how much equity you have in your home? I answered that one already. Man, y'all got some good questions. I'm working on refinancing on my single family property right now. I will like to get multiple family property and pay for my classes in a few weeks. I need your help. Um, all right, well, come on in, Diamond, and I'll be able to coach you in the weekly deal room or in the Facebook group. Uh, you cannot use NACA, Deborah, if you've already used FHA. Okay. Ebony, did someone give you the game or you self-taught? What's the biggest lesson that you learned so far? So Ebony, I learned the game. I learned the game on my own. School of Hard Knocks. That's why it took me. That's why it took me from 2013 to 2017 to buy my next deal. I got that property in Brooklyn, and I was learning the game during that time of actually being in it. I found out that real estate is like cooking. Like you can't learn cooking through a cookbook. You can only learn it through experience, right? So this is why I've designed this program in such a way where 80% of it is experiential, where you're actually not just sitting here watching videos, but you're actually out there engaging with people. Okay. So that's why once you acquire this first deal and you get a feel for it, you're going to be salivating for the next one. So I learned the game through that in New York. Okay. And then I continue to learn. Ebony, I'm still learning today. Okay. Every single day. Eva, does your program teach about using hard money loans? No, Eva, we do not have much content on using hard money loans. What about the bad weather in New Orleans? I have insurance, flood insurance, and all kinds of insurance on all my properties. It's part of our financial analysis. Okay, it's part of our financial analysis. Everywhere has something. California has earthquakes and fires. New Orleans has hurricanes. Mid places have tornadoes. Then New York has Hurricane Sandy. Every place has something. You just have to run it through your numbers. Okay. Dylan, do you advise starting with a microloan? Dylan, no, I do not. I don't have any students who have used a microloan. John Sebastian paid in full. Welcome, John Sebastian. Glad to have you. Glad to have you in the program. Uh, will we have access to someone to guide us in the first purchase? I'm that person, Charles. All right. Anonymous, you skipped my question. I may have skipped your question because I thought it was a duplicate, or I want to get other people answers. If you, I didn't, there could be 5 people who are using anonymous to ask questions. So I'm trying to get everybody answered at least one question. Okay. Um, I live in Orange County. I have about 32K to invest, and I think I can leverage that outside of California. I think so too. Which market could I do best in with what I have now? So, and we may look in Nevada. We may look in Oregon. We may look in Arizona. So, and we'll find the best market for you through the program. Okay, I'll teach you how to evaluate markets. Diamond, does your course ever update? For instance, did you alter anything due to COVID? Yeah, I alter it all the time. We altered our altered our offer strategy. In the past, we used to have an offer strategy where we offered more than asking price, and then use strategies to get it back down. In COVID, we've been a little bit more aggressive. So I'm always updating the course. There's also been some racial stuff in terms of appraisers appraising people's properties less for people of color, and so I recently created a module on how to address that. How long does pre-approval last, Corey? 120 days. Diane, I live in New York and market is very expensive here. Where would I have to look for property? So Dion, I have some people going out to Connecticut. I have people who bought in New Jersey. People going to upstate New York. So yeah, there's deals, just maybe not in the city though. How will owning inherited properties affect FHA approval? Alana, if you are not, if those mortgages are paid off, then it won't affect you. It won't even show up. because there's no debt associated. Oh man, we went past 10 o'clock. Shoot. Cool. So y'all, we went 3 hours. We went 3 hours. This is amazing. I'm gonna call it quits though. No, I don't, and not quits. We're gonna bring it to an end. We're gonna bring it to an end, y'all, because this could go on forever. And that's what the program is really all about. I get all kinds of questions like this on Sundays. So I've been giving you the game. This is kind of similar to our weekly deal room calls, except I'm doing more coaching, and we also have the accountability section where you have to report to me what you did. But with that, I want to invite you to join the multifamily movement. I would love to have you. I'm putting the URL in there one more time before we close out. I would love to be your conductor on the above ground railroad. I've gotten to freedom this way. I've led many other people to freedom this way. And I know I can help you get there faster, safer, and easier. So with that, I want to say thank you so much. We just got another one come through. Welcome to Carol from Ann Arbor, Michigan. Yeah, we can do some damage in Detroit, Carol. So no, not do some damage. We can redevelop Detroit. So and I have a couple students who have closed in Detroit, and I got a great agent out there as well. So with that, I wish you all a good night. Again, you have till Friday at midnight Eastern Standard Time to join, and I will catch you all, hope to catch you on Sunday. All right. So if you join, finish orientation, come on Sunday, and then you'll do your first challenge starting on Monday. All right. Good night, everybody. Peace. And apologies to anybody whose question I did not get to. We had almost 300 questions, y'all. So apologies if I didn't get to you tonight. All right. It's all love. Peace.